Chapter 2176. A Non-Elemental Chaos Stone Tablet. It could be said that he was extremely depressed. Longao tried to refine the Chaos Stone Tablet in his body, but to his disappointment, the refining speed was extremely slow, like a snail's crawl. At this rate, who knew how long it would take for the refinement to be complete? Luckily, he had already devoured the Chaos Stone Tablet. No matter what, it was his now. The Chaos Axe appeared in his right hand. "I'll have to rely on you from now on." Longao returned to the main hall and looked for Heifeng. He went straight to the point. "Heifeng, from now on, you have to develop the sect. Within 100 years, I want the sect to be as strong as the heaven-devouring empire." Heifeng was speechless when he heard the master's words. "Master, I know you're anxious, but to reach the same level as the heaven-devouring empire within 100 years is a little unbelievable." It was indeed a little unrealistic. However, Longao couldn't wait any longer. "Heifeng, I'll leave the development of the sect to you. As for the experts, leave it to me." Heifeng knew the master's character well. Once he had decided on something, he wouldn't change his mind. He could only nod. "Master, there's something that I'm not sure if I should ask." "Go ahead." After thinking for a while, Heifeng asked, "Master, is it a plum blossom?" Heifeng didn't know how to ask, but he knew that the master would know what he meant. "I'll tell you about it later. Remember, don't let anyone enter the back mountain." "Understood." Heifeng left the main hall. After staying in the soaring dragon realm for 3 days, Longao decided to leave. Although he couldn't destroy the heaven-devouring empire, Longao decided to create some trouble for the heaven-devouring empire. The weaker the heaven-devouring empire was, the better it would be for him in the future. Heaven-devouring realm. The news of Longao killing Fang Shan and Fang Xia had spread throughout the entire realm. Everyone who heard the news was shocked. When did Longao become so strong? One had to know that Longao was only the Universal Realm Lord, while Fang Shan and Fang Xia were true Universal Realm Kings. Under normal circumstances, how could Longao kill the two of them? But the result? Not only did Longao defeat the two, he even killed them. Was it true that a Universal Realm Lord could kill 2 Universal Realm Kings? Even now, many people still felt that it was inconceivable. After all, such a thing had never happened before. The heaven-devouring empire's reputation. They had thought, Chun, but they had never expected Long's heaven-devouring empire. The heaven-devouring empire remained silent. Could it be that the heaven-devouring empire had no choice but to endure? Fang Xia and Fang Shan might not have been members of the heaven-devouring empire in the past, but since they had joined the heaven-devouring empire, they were considered members of the heaven-devouring empire. Longao's act of killing them was an act of provocation. Was the heaven-devouring empire afraid of Longao? That shouldn't be possible. Given the strength of the heaven-devouring empire, even if Longao had a Starry Sky World Emperor by his side, he wouldn't be afraid of the heaven-devouring empire. In any case, the deterrence of a Starry Sky World Emperor was quite terrifying. Now, the heaven-devouring empire had 3 Universal Realm Kings: Dongfang Hao, Che Yimin, and Chen. However, the outside world didn't know that and thought that Chen was the only Universal Realm King. The combined might of the 3 Starry Sky Realm Emperors was terrifying to think about. Heaven-devouring empire. In the main hall, the 3 Universal Realm Kings, including Chen, were all waiting. Dozens of days had passed, and Longao still hadn't come. The 4 of them couldn't be sure if Longao would come. What if he didn't? The 4 of them didn't take the initiative to attack because they didn't want to alert the enemy. If they couldn't kill Longao in one blow and Longao went into hiding, it would be difficult to find him in the future. They had to kill him in one blow. Brother Chen, before Dongfang Hao could finish his words, everyone's faces changed. The 3 of them realized that something was wrong with Chen. His aura was extremely messy, and they didn't know what was going on. As though they had guessed something, Dongfang Hao and Che Yimen's faces lit up as they exclaimed in unison, "Brother Chen is going to break through? Huh?" The moment he heard that, Chen Ting was elated. He had not expected that his father would break through at this moment. He knew clearly what it meant for his father to break through to the titled World King. The three of them didn't dare to hesitate as they guarded the surroundings. It was extremely dangerous for a Universal Realm King to break through to the titled World King. If they weren't careful, they would be doomed. It took a full 3 days and 3 nights for Chun Chen to finally overcome the hurdle and break through to the titled World King. Ha! Ha 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 ha! Ha 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 ha! A burst of laughter rang out. Chen Chen could not hide the joy in his heart. He had not expected that he would break through at this moment after being in seclusion for so many years. It seemed like it was all because of Longao. Should he thank Longao? Chen Chen knew clearly that if it weren't for Longao, he could forget about breaking through. Brother Chen, congratulations on your breakthrough. I don't know when the two of us will break through. Chen Chen smiled and said, "After we deal with Longao, I will do my best to help the two of you break through to the Universal Realm King level. Thank you." The two of them were pleasantly surprised. With Chen Chen's help, it would be much easier for them to break through to the titled World King level. "Brother Chen, Longao hasn't come to this plane yet. If we continue waiting like this, it won't be a good idea. Why don't we take the initiative to strike? As long as we can kill him in one blow, it might not be a bad thing." "You're right. We can't continue waiting like this. From what I've heard, this Longao is way too strange. Raising a tiger will only invite calamity. We have to get rid of him as soon as possible." Che Yimen and Dongfang Hao were both wary of Longao. To think that a mere cultivator could be so arrogant. If one were to say that he did not have any backing, they would not believe it even if they were beaten to death. They had to get rid of him as soon as possible so that they could rest easy. How could Chen Chen not want to kill Longao? It was because of this lad that the reputation of the Empire was at rock bottom. He had to kill Longao as soon as possible. Otherwise, how could the Empire dominate the devouring world? Since that's the case, we'll do as you say. However, this time around, we have to kill him in one blow. We must not let Longao escape. Otherwise, once he hides, we'll be in big trouble. For a titled world king to be so wary of a mere universal realm lord, it was quite a strange thing. Chapter 2177. The news of Chen Chen breaking through to the titled World Emperor realm had spread. It shocked the entire heaven-devouring domain. This was because everyone knew very well what a titled World Emperor meant. No one had expected that Chen Chen would choose to break through at this time. Because of this, the heaven-devouring empire's reputation, which had fallen to rock bottom, became even more significant because of Chen Chen's breakthrough. Longao also received the news and was shocked. He never expected that Chen Chen, who had not broken through for so many years, would choose to break through at this time. It was very depressing. Longao did not hide his identity. In the end, he was still discovered by the heaven-devouring empire in the heaven-devouring domain. Shen He and Shen Zhua just happened to meet Longao. They did not know if it was Longao's intention or not. Should the two of them kill each other? If Longao had a Starry Sky World Emperor by his side, the two would not dare to stay and would immediately leave. But now, Longao did not have a Starry Sky World Emperor by his side. It was the best time to kill him. Shen He, Shen Zhua, long time no see. How have you been? Longao was not worried at all. He looked at the two in front of him indifferently. The more he acted like this, the more the two were afraid. The two of them did not know why Longao was so fearless. Longao, we respect your courage. As long as you surrender, we can leave your corpse intact. Whether it was Shen He or Shen Zhua, they were both genuine titled world kings. However, Longao was only a Starry Sky World Emperor. The difference between the two was too great. They were not on the same level at all. It was like an insurmountable gap. Longao smiled. His face was indifferent. He did not put the two in his eyes at all. It was as if the two in front of him were not so-called titled world kings. Longao did not know if he could defeat a titled world king with his current strength. In any case, he could kill a Starry Sky world king in a matter of minutes. Are you afraid? Yes, I am very afraid. At this moment, Longao stretched out his right hand with a smile. What was Longao doing? Longao's actions confused the two of them. They didn't know what the other party was trying to do. But in the next second, a shocking scene occurred. Longao clenched his fists, mastering the starry sky. Shen He and Shen Zhuo felt the starry sky around them begin to tremble. They had already guessed what the other party was going to do. Their faces suddenly changed as they were shocked to the extreme. A titled world king was a titled world king. Their reactions and speed were extremely fast. They retreated continuously, and in a short while they had retreated far away. A spatial rift appeared and began to compress. Shen He and Shen Zhuo looked at each other and saw the deep disbelief in each other's eyes. Even if the two of them joined forces, they still wouldn't be Longao's match, much less him alone. The two of them were speechless to the extreme. If the two of them joined forces, they might be able to defeat Longao. Unfortunately, the two of them had no desire to continue fighting. In the end, the two of them were afraid of death and didn't dare to continue fighting. You want to leave? Longao naturally wouldn't give the two of them the chance to leave. He had to eliminate the source of the problem and eliminate all future troubles. Within 100 years, he would definitely settle the grudge between him and the heaven-devouring empire. Taking advantage of this time, he would kill one less person. Because the heaven-devouring empire's strength would continue to weaken, it would be beneficial for him. Moreover, Shen Zhuo and Shen He were both titled world kings. One could imagine their status in the heaven-devouring empire. It was precisely because of this that Longao chased after them. He was slightly surprised because he didn't expect the two of them to be so fast. Even if he used spatial teleportation, he wouldn't be able to catch up to them in the shortest time possible. The two of them flew towards the heaven-devouring plane. If they entered the heaven-devouring plane, would he have to enter the heaven-devouring plane as well? One had to know that the heaven-devouring plane was the headquarters of the heaven-devouring empire. Once he stepped into it, it wouldn't be easy for him to leave. The current heaven-devouring empire not only had a starry sky world king, but also a titled world king. He could defeat a starry sky world king and even a titled world king, but he couldn't defeat a starry sky world king or a titled world king. If it was anyone else, they would definitely choose to retreat in the face of such a situation. Only Longao chased after them. Chapter 2178. Shen He and Shen Zhuo's speed soared to the extreme. The two of them were very depressed. As titled world kings, they were being chased by a mere starry sky world lord. It was a pain in the ass. So what if they were depressed? Longao was no longer the same as before. This didn't mean that Longao was very strong, but Longao's methods were too strange and powerful. If they weren't careful, the two of them would be killed. It was really troublesome to encounter such an existence. The two of them were very fast. Even if Longao used spatial teleportation, he couldn't catch up to them in the shortest time. Damn it. Seeing the two of them getting closer and closer to the devouring sky world, Longao's face turned uglier. He had to kill the two of them. Longao was very clear that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for him. The two of them had a change in their state of mind. This was the best time to kill the two of them. Outside the devouring sky world, Chun Chun and the other two suddenly appeared. After waiting for a long time without news of Longao's arrival, Chun Chun and the other two finally couldn't sit still. Just as the three of them left the devouring sky world, they saw Longao chasing after the two of them. The situation was very dangerous. The two titled world kings were very important to the devouring sky empire. The two of them couldn't die. Longao, how dare you! The three of them rushed towards the two of them. As long as they could protect the two of them, it would be impossible for Longao to kill the two of them under the Starry Sky World King's hands. But would Longao let go? Since Longao dared to chase the two of them to the devouring sky world, he wasn't afraid of anyone. So what if Qin Chen's cultivation had broken through to the titled world kings? However, Longao was also a little depressed. It was almost impossible to kill the two of them, especially in front of the three of them. He had to kill the two of them in one strike. Otherwise, if the three of them protected the two of them, it would be impossible for him to kill the two of them. Longao knew himself well. Not to mention killing a Starry Sky World Emperor, it was unknown if he could even kill a titled World King. The reason he was able to defeat the two titled World Kings this time was because of his first impressions. If the two of them continued to attack fiercely, there was no way he could win. Go all out. The primal chaos axe appeared in his right hand. Longao channeled Starry Sky mastery into the primal chaos axe and hacked at the two of them. After an hour of chasing, Longao was already very close to the two of them. He was only a few hundred meters away. What kind of concept was that? The primal chaos axe cleaved through the air. Then, under the horrified gazes of the 2 and 3 people, a shocking scene took place. No. Shen He and Shen Zhuo were shocked to the extreme because the two of them had never thought that they would still be unable to escape this calamity even though they were fine. The current Longao was a little too terrifying. The power of the primal chaos axe not only caused cracks in the starry sky but also began to compress. If it was just a crack in the starry sky, the two of them might still have a chance to escape. But now, the two of them had just been enveloped by the crack in the starry sky and the crack had begun to compress. Before the two of them could react, they were already killed by the crack in the starry sky. They forcibly stopped their footstep. Chen and the other two were also shocked because the shattering starry sky that Longao had used just now was able to compress the crack in the starry sky. It was a little unbelievable. In the vast starry sky, who could do this? No one could do it. Longao, you've gone too far. Chen's expression was very gloomy and as ugly as it could be. Outside the devouring sky plane, 2 titled world kings had been killed by the other party. If this matter were to spread out, where would his face go? Chen, I'll give you this gift. Are you satisfied? Very satisfied. The 3 of them did not make a move because Longao's methods were too strange. If they could not kill him in one strike and he escaped, who knew what would happen? In the vast starry sky, there was no end to it. Trying to find a trace of a person in the vast sea of people was a ridiculous matter. Kill him in one strike. How could Longao not know what the 3 of them were thinking? 2 starry sky world emperors and 1 titled world emperor. With such terrifying strength, how could he possibly defeat them? It was unknown if he could destroy the devouring sky empire within 100 years. Avoid the sharp edge. Longao was not stupid enough to clash head-on with the other party at this time. When his cultivation broke through to the titled World King realm, he might be able to put up a fight. If he could reach the Starry Sky World Emperor realm, he might not even need to fear a titled World Emperor. You want to leave? The 3 of them laughed. The more Longao acted like this, the more the 3 of them knew that even if Longao had terrifying methods, he was not their match. Thinking of this, before Longao could speak, the 3 of them had already shot towards Longao at an extremely fast speed. However, in the next second, Longao's figure had already disappeared without a trace. What was going on? Looking at the disappearing figure, Chen and the others looked at each other. They could see the deep shock in each other's eyes. They did not know how Longao had done it. Everyone knew that Longao had a powerful spatial artifact. However, under normal circumstances, the three of them would have been prepared to interfere with the spatial fluctuations. This way, even if Longao had a spatial artifact, he would not be able to enter the spatial artifact. But what was the result? Longao still entered the spatial artifact. The three of them were completely dumbfounded. They did not know what had happened. Brother Chen, how did Longao do it? Che Yimin and Dongfang Hao were shocked. Chen Chen shook his head helplessly. He also did not know what had happened. He said helplessly, Longao must not be left alive. No matter what, we have to kill him and get rid of all future troubles. Chen Chen had just witnessed Longao's methods. Not only could he shatter the starry sky, he could even compress it. This kind of ability was too terrifying. If he had not seen it with his own eyes, he would not have believed it. Not only that, Longao was only a starry sky world lord now. What if he was a titled world king or even a starry sky world emperor? It was hard to imagine what level Longao would grow to in the future. No matter what, Longao's talent was there. The three of them were not sure if Longao could become a starry sky world emperor or even a titled world emperor in the future. However, the three of them did not dare to gamble. If they lost, the consequences would be unimaginable. The only way was to cut the weeds and get rid of all future troubles. However, at this time, Longao could actually enter the spatial artifact as he wished. This was a very troublesome matter. What should they do to stop Longao from entering the spatial artifact? If this continued, it would be impossible to kill Longao. To the three of them and even the Empire, it would be troublesome. Chapter 2179. This time, he had nothing to fear because of the Dragon Seal. Longao could enter the Dragon Seal at any time. Even if he was disturbed by space, he could still enter the Dragon Seal without fear. The current Dragon Seal was different, completely different. In the past, Long Fu was the weapon spirit of the Dragon Seal. As for whether it would be disturbed by space, it was unknown. Longao didn't know at all. But now a Long Chong was the weapon spirit of the Dragon Seal. According to Long Chong, the Dragon Seal was unimaginably powerful, and no one could disturb it. As for why the Dragon Seal chose him and gave up on dragon annihilation, no one knew. Chen Chen and the other two didn't continue their search because they didn't know when Longao would appear. Big brother, what are you going to do next? How could Longao not know Long Chong's intention? The current heaven-devouring empire wasn't something he could contend against. Retreat in order to advance. The most important thing now is to break through my cultivation. Starry Sky Realm Lord was far from enough. At the very least, he had to find a way to break through to titled Realm King. As for fighting Chen Chen, Longao knew that his cultivation had to reach Starry Sky Realm Emperor at the very least. It was easy to think about it, but it was extremely difficult to do it. Longao sat quietly in the Dragon Seal, thinking about what he should do next. The next day, Longao got up and left the heaven-devouring realm. According to the current situation, there wasn't much point in staying any longer. Grand Cloud Realm, Soaring Dragon Realm. Currently, the Soaring Dragon Bitwall was completely famous in the Grand Cloud Realm. If it were an ordinary bitwall, its destruction and rise would not attract too much attention. In any case, there were too many bitwalls in the vast starry sky to count. However, the Soaring Dragon Realm had a grudge with the heaven-devouring empire and was constantly provoking them. The most terrifying thing was that the Soaring Dragon Realm hadn't been destroyed yet. Even the heaven-devouring empire couldn't do anything about it. What was going on? Grand Cloud Realm was confused. The Grand Cloud Realm didn't interfere because they didn't want to provoke the heaven-devouring empire or the Soaring Dragon Realm. The best way was to stay in seclusion. Since then, due to E.G. May's closed-door cultivation, Black Wind was able to develop dragon sex strength by himself. A person's power was limited. However, just as Longao returned to the Soaring Dragon Realm, good news suddenly came. Feng Xiu's cultivation had broken through to the Starry Sky Realm Emperor Realm. What kind of concept was that? The Dragon Sect finally had a Starry Sky Realm Emperor. Under normal circumstances, the current Dragon Sect could easily seize the realms. As long as they could dominate thousands of realms and have a Starry Sky Realm Emperor, they could establish an empire. However, Longao did not do so. The reason was simple. If they didn't have a solid foundation, even if they rashly established a Starry Sky Empire, it would only end in tragedy. Master, you're finally back. Feng Xiu's cultivation had broken through to the Starry Sky World Monarch realm, but he didn't continue cultivating. In the end, he chose to exit seclusion. Black Wind, what happened? 2 people want to see you. Who is it? Longao was very curious. He didn't know who wanted to see him. Black Wind immediately left the hall and personally went to invite them. Big Brother Feng, aren't you going to continue your closed-door cultivation? According to Feng Xiu's estimation, after swallowing the blood, as long as he continued his closed-door cultivation, he could definitely become a titled world emperor. Since that was the case, why did Feng Xiu choose to leave seclusion? Brother Long, the blood has changed. If I want to continue breaking through, I can only rely on myself and not the blood. So, even if I continue my closed-door cultivation, it won't help. So that was the case. At that moment, Brother Long, long time no see. How have you been? Seeing the 2 people walk in, Longao was completely shocked. He never thought that Yi Gudu and Long Batian would suddenly appear. Brother Yi, Big Brother Long, why are you here? You're so sensational, why can't I come? Yi Gudu seemed very excited. Longao was very afraid of Yi Gudu. Although Yi Gudu's strength was only at the titled World King level, he had a Starry Sky ruler behind him. The 2 had their own ulterior motives. After chatting for a long time, Yi Gudu left to rest. Brother Long, what's going on? Long Batian sighed deeply and told Longao everything that had happened before. After listening to it, Longao also sighed. Just as he knew, Tian Dao was indeed the ruler of the Starry Sky, the ruler of space and Starry Sky. There were 12 dominators of the Starry Sky. The dominators of the 5 elements Starry Sky, Devouring Starry Sky, Lightning Starry Sky, Space Starry Sky, Time Starry Sky, Destruction Starry Sky, Reincarnation Starry Sky, Massacre Starry Sky, Divination Starry Sky, Sword Will Starry Sky, Immortal Tyrant Body Starry Sky, and Darkness Starry Sky. Only the Dark Starry Sky ruler hadn't appeared yet. Among them, the Devouring Starry Sky ruler, Lightning Starry Sky ruler, Space Starry Sky ruler, Time Starry Sky ruler, Destruction Starry Sky ruler, Reincarnation Starry Sky ruler, Massacre Starry Sky ruler, Divine Divination Starry Sky ruler, Sword Will Starry Sky ruler, and Indestructible Tyrant Body Starry Sky ruler were all related to him. Only the 2 Starry Sky rulers, the 5 elements Starry Sky ruler and the Dark Starry Sky ruler, seemed to have nothing to do with him. Even so, Longao was still very shocked. He didn't know what was going on. There were only 12 Starry Sky rulers in total. Now, there were 10 Starry Sky rulers by his side. It was a little unbelievable. For some reason, Longao's intuition told him that this matter wasn't simple. However, Longao didn't mention this to Long Batian. Brother Long, you've provoked the heaven-devouring empire. What do you plan to do next? How could Longao not know what Long Batian meant? No matter what, the heaven-devouring empire's strength was still there. Under normal circumstances, how could he be a match for the heaven-devouring empire? It was like throwing an egg against a rock. He was courting death. However, Longao wasn't afraid at all. He smiled and said, "Different situations call for different actions. I don't believe that I can't shake the heaven-devouring empire's position. I'll definitely be able to do it within 100 years. Long Batian chose to believe in Longao's confidence. This was because the young man in front of him had created countless legends. If it weren't for this, Longao wouldn't have reached this step. Even so, Long Batian was still worried. He said, "Be careful. The heaven-devouring empire isn't as simple as it seems." "I know. Brother Long, is it worth it for you to do this? It's not about whether it's worth it or not. If I didn't do this, I wouldn't have reached my current cultivation." Chapter 2180. Whether it was right or wrong, it was hard to say. As Long Batian had said, if he hadn't chosen to submit, how could he have become a titled world king? Was it possible for Long Batian to reach this realm just by relying on his talent and potential? It was precisely because of this. Longao was almost certain that Master Godly Mathematician hadn't fallen into the cycle of reincarnation and had always been in the Starry Sky ruler realm. If such a super powerhouse wanted to create two titled world kings, it would only take a few minutes. Not to mention a titled world king, even a titled world emperor would be a piece of cake. Longao sighed helplessly. After settling the two, Longao went to the back mountain. The back mountain was a forbidden area of the dragon sect. No one, not even Blackwind, was allowed to enter without permission. There were currently two Starry Sky rulers in the back mountain. One was the Starry Sky ruler of time, Long Ming. The other was the Starry Sky ruler of devouring, Yi Mei. It was worth rejoicing. Whether it was the Starry Sky ruler of time or the Starry Sky ruler of devouring, they were both his brothers, especially Long Ming. However, Longao was well aware that while he had Starry Sky rulers as his brothers, he also had Starry Sky rulers as his enemies. For example, Tian Dao, the Starry Sky ruler of space. "Big brother, you're here." He nodded. "Long Ming, how do you feel about the refinement?" "Big brother, when we fell and entered the cycle of reincarnation, it won't be easy to refine the Chaos Tablet a second time. Take your time." Longao had come this time mainly to see Long Ming and Yi Mei. When he found that the two were fine, he left with peace of mind. Yidugu and Long Batian didn't seem to have any intention of leaving this time. Longao was also helpless, because even now, he didn't know whether he was friend or foe with Yidugu, or friend or foe with Master Godly Mathematician. Under normal circumstances, he didn't have the qualifications to be Master Godly Mathematician's target. In the end, he was just a pawn of Master Godly Mathematician. He believed that Long Batian and even Yidugu were pawns of Master Godly Mathematician. Not to mention them, even the 11 Starry Sky rulers were pawns of Master Godly Mathematician. It was obvious how terrifying Master Godly Mathematician was. In the lobby, Feng Xiu, Longao, and Haifeng sat down. There was a master, a vice-master, and a great elder. The three of them were the highest decision-makers of the dragon sect. That's roughly the current situation. Tell me, what should we do now? Longao had just finished speaking when Feng Xiu continued. "Master, things are very simple. Now that I'm in charge of the sect, we can dominate thousands of worlds in the shortest time possible. In that case, why don't we just establish the Starry Sky Empire? The deterrence of a Starry Sky world emperor far surpassed that of a titled world king. Even the heaven-devouring empire would not be able to enter the soaring dragon realm. Until now." Longao and the other two sighed. What exactly was Wei Lin's seal? Not only could it withstand the attack of a titled world king, it could even withstand the attack of a titled world emperor. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, he would have found it hard to believe. Wei Lin did not say much, and Longao did not ask much. Haifeng shook his head and said, "Although Great Elder's idea is feasible, our foundation is still very weak. If we establish the Starry Sky Empire rashly, I'm afraid we won't be able to withstand the attack. According to the agreement between the Master and the Heaven-Devouring Empire, we still have 100 years to prepare. There's no need to rush." Regarding the two people's opinions, Longao was more inclined towards Heifeng. Just like what Heifeng said, the sect was indeed not suitable to establish the Starry Sky Empire. There's one more thing. If we establish the Starry Sky Empire now, not only will we have to face the heaven-devouring empire, we will also have to face the Grand Cloud Empire and the other empires. We can't just hide like a turtle. Feng Xiu nodded in agreement. He had to admit that Heifeng's words made sense. Establishing the Starry Sky Empire was indeed a troublesome matter. Longao was also helpless. If Feng Xiu's cultivation could rise to the next level and break through to the titled World Emperor from the Starry Sky World Emperor, all the problems would be easily solved. However, there was no other way. Feng Xiu had already said that blood was useless. It was almost impossible to rely on blood to break through to the titled World Emperor realm. What should he do? He thought about it. Big Brother Feng, it's indeed not suitable for us to establish the Starry Sky Empire now. However, the most important thing now is to think of all kinds of ways to help you continue to break through. As long as your cultivation can reach the titled World Emperor realm, it won't be too troublesome for us to establish the Starry Sky Empire immediately. A titled World Emperor was a deterrent. No one dared to provoke him. Longao even dared to say that if Feng Xiu's cultivation could really break through to the titled World Emperor realm, even the heaven-devouring empire would not dare to casually attack them. This was the deterrence of a titled World Emperor. Feng Xiu and Heifeng naturally understood what their master meant. However, breaking through to the titled World Emperor realm was not an easy task. Seeing that the two of them did not speak, Longao smiled and said, "The two of you do not have to worry. I believe that we will succeed." The two of them smiled, but it was more of a bitter smile. In the vast starry sky there were countless planes. There were countless experts. It was not easy to establish a foothold in the vast starry sky. Sky Martial Plain, Massacre Abyss. Ever since Yu-Yin obtained the Dark World's inheritance, she had slowly started to cultivate in seclusion. As for the child in Aoshue's stomach, it was still not born. This caused everyone to sigh endlessly. However, according to Xiling, the longer the child was in Aoshue's stomach, the better it would be for the child. Aoshue could clearly sense that the child in her stomach had already reached the Starry Sky Cultivator realm before it was born. Although it was only a level 1 Starry Sky Cultivator, this was still shocking enough. In a secret room, Yu-Yin had successfully broken through to the titled World Emperor realm, but she was still far from it. This was because she realized that the dark world she had obtained was slightly different. For so many years, no matter how she refined the dark world, she was still unable to do so. This was a little unbelievable. She did not know what was going on. It was a helpless matter. However, even so, Yu-Yin did not choose to give up. This was because she knew very well that if she wanted to help Longao, she had to continuously improve her strength. The dark world was her only hope. It was because of this that Yu-Yin chose to go into seclusion to cultivate. Under normal circumstances, no one would come to disturb her. Like this, Yu-Yin quietly refined the world of darkness. Chapter 2181. Within the secret room, a palm-sized world floated in front of Yu-Yin. It was the world of darkness that she had obtained. Until now, Yu-Yin still did not know what this world of darkness that she had obtained was. It was too hard to refine. However, Yu-Yin could clearly sense that this world of darkness contained a terrifying amount of energy. If she could refine it, she believed that her cultivation would increase by leaps and bounds. Right at this moment a shocking scene occurred. Under Yu-Yin's astonished gaze, the world of darkness before her began to change. It turned into a black stone tablet that was neither big nor small. What was going on? Could this be the so-called power of darkness? The black stone tablet emitted a terrifying aura of darkness. Yu-Yin was almost certain that the energy released by the black stone tablet was definitely the power of darkness. What should she do? She tried to sense the black stone tablet. What made Yu'in rejoice was that even if the world of darkness had turned into a black stone tablet, it would not affect her from subduing the black stone tablet. Yu'in did not recognize the black stone tablet. If Longao was here, he would definitely be shocked to the point of speechlessness. The black stone tablet that the world of darkness had turned into was obviously the so-called Chaos Stone Tablet. It was also the so-called Chaos Stone Tablet of Darkness. 12 Chaos Stone Tablet. Other than the 5 elements Chaos Stone Tablet that had yet to appear, the other 11 had already appeared. Yu'in had obtained the Chaos Stone Tablet of Darkness. As for whether Yu'in was the ruler of the dark starry sky, it was still unknown. Because even if Yu'in had obtained the Chaos Stone Tablet of Darkness, she might not be the ruler of the dark starry sky. Just like when Longao had obtained the devouring Chaos Stone Tablet, he did not devour the ruler of the dark starry sky. Even so, Yu'in did not know that the Chaos Stone Tablet that she had obtained was the legendary Chaos Stone Tablet of Darkness. If she knew, who knew what Yu'in would think? Regardless of whether it was the world of darkness or the Chaos Stone Tablet of Darkness, Yu'in continued to refine them. However, her refining speed was as slow as a snail. At the other side, Aoshue was also cultivating. Every once in a while, it would devour a large amount of energy. Otherwise, if it stopped devouring energy, it would fall unconscious. Currently, Aoshue was an important target of protection in the massacre abyss. Nothing must happen to her. Otherwise, once Longao returned, how would they explain it to Longao? Outer Sea. In the Crystal Palace, Master God Diviner's eyes snapped open, and a cold smile slowly appeared on his face. The 11 Chaos Stone Tablets have all awakened. It seems I should make my move as well. Master God Diviner had never imagined that the 11 Chaos Stone Tablets would awaken so quickly. In the blink of an eye, Master God Diviner was out in the starry sky. Master God Diviner smiled as he looked out at the boundless starry sky. Soaring Dragon Realm. Within the Dragon Sect, Yidugu and Long Batian didn't leave either. Longao didn't know what was going on. He didn't know if they would stay or leave. If they were willing to stay, then they would still be titled World Kings. To him, they would always be of help. However, Longao wasn't willing to explain too much to Yidugu. The reason was simple. Yidugu had the Starry Sky ruler behind him. Who knew if Master God Diviner was friend or foe? What if he was an enemy? If he kept Yidugu by his side, wouldn't that be tantamount to raising a tiger? Brother Yi, you really don't plan on staying any longer? Yidugu and Long Batian only stayed for a few dozen days before getting ready to leave. I still have matters to attend to. I won't disturb you any longer. Longao didn't insist. After the two left, Longao let out a long sigh of relief. Master, I can sense killing intent from Yidugu. Toward me? That's right. Longao didn't have the slightest doubt about Feng Xiu. As a super powerhouse of the Body Clan, he was well aware of Feng Xiu's abilities. Since Feng Xiu could sense that Yidugu was a fool towards him, then there was no doubt that Yidugu had killing intent towards him. If that was the case, then Yidugu was an enemy and not a friend. If Yidugu was alone, then Longao naturally wouldn't be afraid. The person he was truly afraid of was Master God Diviner behind Yidugu. As the Starry Sky ruler, Master God Diviner's strength was clear for all to see. Master, I know what you're worried about. Yidugu isn't simple. You must be careful. As for the Starry Sky ruler, Brother Feng, if you have something to say, just say it. Longao was well aware of Feng Xiu's personality. Feng Xiu thought for a moment and continued, Master, according to legend, the strongest of the 12 Starry Sky rulers is the Samsara Starry Sky ruler. However, according to the records of the Body Clan, the most mysterious and powerful of the 12 Starry Sky rulers is not the Samsara Starry Sky ruler, but this mysterious Master God Diviner. Records of the Body Clan? What the hell was going on? Longao was very curious, because the 12 starry sky rulers had always been very mysterious. How could the Body Clan have records of them? How could they know that the most mysterious and powerful of the 12 starry sky rulers was the Master God Diviner? As if he could guess what Longao was thinking, Feng Xiu said, "Master, when the Body Clan was at its peak, we were able to surpass the Samsara clan and the Death clan. Moreover, there is another secret in the Body Clan. When I first saw this secret, I was also extremely shocked." "What secret is it?" Longao was very curious, because he knew very well that the secret of the Body Clan should be related to the 12 starry sky rulers. If it was anything else, Longao might not be very concerned. However, when it came to the 12 starry sky rulers, Longao's intuition told him that the 12 starry sky rulers were inextricably linked to him. Out of the 12 starry sky rulers, a total of 10 of them were related to him. "Master, according to the rules of the Body Clan, this secret is not to be told to anyone. However, you are not an outsider, so it is fine to tell you." Longao did not say much, because it was indeed not his place to say much. The secret is that the 12 starry sky rulers fell and entered the cycle of reincarnation because of the Master God Diviner. Others may not know the reason, but according to the secret, I know why the Master God Diviner did this. Why? Longao had always been very curious. Since the Master God Diviner had tricked the 11 starry sky rulers into falling and entering the cycle of reincarnation, if the Master God Diviner took action at this time, the 11 starry sky rulers would never be able to rise again. Chapter 2182. If that was the case, why hadn't Master God Diviner done the same? He couldn't figure it out. If he were in Master God Diviner's shoes, he would have sealed the 11 rulers. That way, Master God Diviner would be the only ruler left in the universe. "Master, there's something you don't know. Master God Diviner tricked the 11 rulers not because he wanted to destroy them, but because of the 12 chaos steels." What did that mean? Longao's curiosity was piqued. He didn't know what Feng Xiu was trying to do. Longao didn't say anything. He just listened. His intuition told him that Master God Diviner hadn't tricked the 11 rulers into reincarnation so easily. "Master, the 12 chaos steels aren't as simple as they seem." Longao had already guessed this. The 12 of them had used the chaos steels to become rulers of the universe. It was obvious what the 12 chaos steels meant. If that was the case, it didn't make sense. If Master God Diviner wanted the 12 chaos steels, why hadn't he sealed the 11 rulers? It was getting stranger and stranger. "Master, according to the records, the 12 chaos steels hold a shocking secret. Although the body race didn't have many secrets, it was enough. It seemed that only those with the chaos steels knew." Of course, Longao wasn't going to ask Emerald Plum or Dragon Ming. This was a secret of the rulers of the universe. It had nothing to do with him. It was the same thing. His top priority right now was to get stronger. The stronger he was, the more beneficial it would be to him. As soon as Feng Xiu left, Longao was the only one left in the hall. A figure flashed as Master God Diviner appeared. Longao looked at Master God Diviner in shock. Master God Diviner's aura had vanished, and he hadn't been able to sense him at all. If Master God Diviner had attacked him, the consequences would have been unthinkable. "Senior, what are you doing here?" Longao was curious. He didn't know why Master God Diviner had appeared here. Master God Diviner found a place to sit. Smiling, he said, "Longao, sit." Longao didn't stand on ceremony. He sat down. They were in the Dragon Sect, so Master God Diviner was acting as if they were in the Outer Sea Crystal Palace. "Senior, may I know why you're here this time?" He went straight to the point without the slightest hesitation. Even now, Longao had no idea if Master God Diviner was a friend or foe. "Longao, I'm here to talk to you about the Sky Martial Realm. Senior, please speak. Longao was very nervous about the Heaven Martial Plane. Regardless of anything else, his family and sect were all in the Sky Martial Plane. This was also the real reason why Longao didn't dare to fall out with Master God Diviner. As long as his family remained in the Sky Martial Realm, he would be a pawn in the hands of the godly mathematician. I'm sure you don't know about the situation in the Tianwu Plane, but I miscalculated something. Longao didn't say anything. He just listened quietly. I previously calculated that you must be the reincarnation of the astral ruler since you've obtained the Chaos Stone Tablet. But I didn't expect that you were merely the reincarnation of Dragon Slayer. It turned out that Master God Diviner had already calculated it. No wonder Master God Diviner had been keeping an eye on him. He really hid it well. Senior, there's something I don't understand. How can Dragon Slayer and I coexist? This was something that neither Dragon Slayer nor Longao could understand. Under normal circumstances, it was impossible for him and Dragon Slayer to coexist. No matter what, he was still Dragon Slayer's reincarnation. I don't understand this for the time being, but if my guess is correct, you shouldn't be Dragon Slayer's reincarnation. Longao had already thought of this. If he really was Dragon Slayer's reincarnation, it was impossible for the two of them to coexist. The only explanation was that he wasn't Dragon Slayer's reincarnation at all. Dragon Slayer had just made a mistake. Longao, since you're not Dragon Slayer's reincarnation, there are some things that I can tell you. But I hope that you'll make a choice. Choice? What choice should he make? Longao had a bad feeling because the clairvoyant had appeared for no reason this time. He knew very well that the clairvoyant must have come because of him. He couldn't possibly want him to deal with the other 11 astral rulers. The clairvoyant seemed to be able to guess Longao's thoughts. He smiled and said, Longao, you think too much. Given your strength, even if I wanted to, you couldn't deal with the other 11 astral rulers. Besides, if I wanted to, do you think the other 11 astral rulers could awaken their primordial spirits? He was telling the truth. Longao knew very well that the clairvoyant wasn't exaggerating at all. Back then, the 11 astral rulers had all chosen to enter the cycle of reincarnation and died. If the clairvoyant wanted to completely seal the 11 astral rulers, it would be a simple matter. Even so, the 11 astral rulers had taken countless years to awaken their primordial spirit. He wouldn't believe that the clairvoyant hadn't played any tricks at all. However, all of this wasn't something he could interfere with. This was a game between the 12 astral rulers. Whoever went up would die. Longao knew very well. Longao knew very well that there was only one way to interfere with the 12 astral rulers, and that was to refine the primal chaos stone tablet in his body. Once he truly refined the primal chaos stone tablet, he would become an astral ruler. At that time, he would no longer be a chess piece, but the person who controlled it. However, refining the primal chaos stone tablet wasn't an easy task. The 12 astral rulers already knew that refining the primal chaos stone tablet alone would take a lot of time. If it wasn't because of the 11 astral rulers, then what was it for? However, Longao didn't tell the clairvoyant about Yi Mei and Long Ming. The clairvoyant already knew about what had happened between him and Xiling. If the clairvoyant knew about what had happened between him, Yi Mei, and Long Ming, the clairvoyant would definitely overthink. Longao was very curious about why the clairvoyant was acting so mysterious. Just what was going on? Senior clairvoyant, if there's anything you want to say, just say it. If it's something I can do, I won't delay it. Longao had already decided that even if the clairvoyant wasn't his enemy, even if he was a friend, he would do his best to move the Dragon Valley out of the Martial Heaven Plane. That way, he wouldn't have to worry about anything. However, moving the Dragon Valley out of the Martial Heaven continent wasn't easy. If the clairvoyant found out about it, then the consequences would be unimaginable. Chapter 2183. Master Godly Mathematician thought for a while. Longao, I came to find you this time because I want you to promise me one thing, and I also want to borrow something from you. Here came the main topic. Senior, please tell me. Longao, it's very simple. I just need you to promise me that no matter what happens in the future, you won't help anyone attack the Heaven Martial Realm. He was very curious. He didn't know what Master Godly Mathematician meant. Longao didn't know why Master Godly Mathematician would say that out of the blue. How could he attack the Heaven Martial Realm? Longao smiled. Senior Master Godly Mathematician, you must be joking. I can't attack the Heaven Martial Realm in the future. Even if he moved the Dragon Valley to the Heaven Martial Realm in the future, he couldn't attack the Heaven Martial Realm. Master Godly Mathematician didn't smile. He said seriously, Longao, make a blood oath and I'll believe you. If it were anyone else who said that, Longao would have killed them. However, in this world, no matter where you go, strength is the most important thing. With strength, you can do whatever you want. Without strength, you can only be beaten. Longao was very unhappy, but he didn't dare to say anything because of Master Godly Mathematician's strength. Longao had no choice but to make a blood oath. Until now, Longao was still a little confused. He didn't know why Master Godly Mathematician said that. Senior Master Godly Mathematician, what do you want from me? After thinking for a while, Longao couldn't think of a reason why Master Godly Mathematician would want something from him. 7 orifices, exquisite pagoda and reincarnation sword. He was very shocked. Longao never thought that Master Godly Mathematician would want the so-called reincarnation sword and 7 orifices, exquisite pagoda. Without thinking much, Longao took out the reincarnation sword and 7 orifices, exquisite pagoda, and gave them to Master Godly Mathematician. These 2 treasures were very precious, but they were almost useless to Longao now. Since they were useless, why should he provoke Master Godly Mathematician for 2 useless things? You could say that Master God Diviner was now the most powerful expert in the starry sky. As for the other 11 starry sky sovereigns, they had all been crippled. If the Master God Diviner wanted to, he could have easily dealt with the 11 starry sky rulers. It all depended on whether Master God Diviner was willing or not. Longao, if you have time, why don't you follow me back to the Sky Martial Realm? All right. Longao got up and followed the clairvoyant out of the soaring dragon realm. Longao would have had to use teleportation portals to teleport, but Master God Diviner didn't need to. As expected of the starry sky ruler, Master God Diviner took Longao out of the martial sky realm with just a single step. It was very shocking. This was the first time Longao had seen the true power of the starry sky ruler. It was too strong. He had a feeling that if the God Diviner wanted to destroy him, he could do it in a matter of minutes. If it wasn't for the godly mathematician, Longao wouldn't have been able to casually enter the Heaven Martial Realm. Not to mention him, even the other starry sky rulers wouldn't have been able to break the seal and enter the Heaven Martial Realm. Currently, there was only one starry sky ruler in the entire vast starry sky, and that was the God Diviner starry sky ruler. As for the other 11 starry sky rulers, no one knew when they would be able to return to their peak state. In the Heaven Martial Realm, the Master God Diviner didn't say much, and Longao didn't ask too much, because he knew that the Master God Diviner had brought him back for something. There was no need for him to ask, and he believed that the Master God Diviner would take the initiative to tell him. In the outer sea, in the Crystal Palace, Longao, I've called you here mainly for the Starry Sky Secret Realm. The Starry Sky Secret Realm. Legend had it that the Starry Sky Secret Realm had the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet, but now it seemed that it was a myth. Senior, please tell me. If it had been in the past, Longao would have certainly hoped to enter the starry sky's secret realm. But now, he didn't want to enter, because he already had the primal chaos stone tablet. Longao, do you know why I asked all the rulers of the starry sky to self-destruct and enter the cycle of reincarnation? I don't know. Even the other 11 starry sky rulers didn't know. But according to Feng Xiu, the Master God Diviner had dealt with the 11 starry sky rulers for the primal chaos stone tablet. Could it be that the Master God Diviner wanted to tell him what had happened back then? That seemed a little ridiculous. Longao, to tell you the truth, everyone thought that I had tricked the 11 starry sky rulers into self-destructing and entered reincarnation, but I didn't. But I'll tell you now, I also destroyed my true body and entered reincarnation. But I was lucky. 100 years later, I awakened my nascent spirit, and it only took me 3 years to refine the primal chaos stone tablet again. So that was how it was. If that was really the case, then the Master God Diviner's talent was too terrifying. In just 100 years, he'd awakened his nascent spirit and refined the primal chaos stone tablet again. The other 11 starry sky rulers had all taken countless years to awaken their nascent spirit. Even if they did, who knew how long it would take them to refine the primal chaos stone tablet? Because I made a mistake in my divination, the 11 starry sky rulers all went down the wrong path. But you can't blame me for that. If I hadn't had a heart-to-heart talk with them, they wouldn't have ended up like this. I've done everything I could. If I wanted to, I could seal all the starry sky rulers at any time. I could even seal the primal chaos stone tablet. No matter who it is, no one will be able to break my seal. Longao was very depressed. He didn't know what the Master God Diviner was trying to say. The enmity between the Master God Diviner and the 11 starry sky rulers had nothing to do with him. But if the Master God Diviner wanted to talk about it, then he would listen. As for whether or not he wanted to believe him, that was his own business. In the end, Longao didn't fully believe the Master God Diviner. Some of his words could be believed, while others couldn't. For example, no one other than the Master God Diviner knew whether or not the Master God Diviner had destroyed his true body to enter reincarnation. Senior, allow me to interrupt. Why did you destroy your true body to enter reincarnation? Longao was very curious. Under normal circumstances, the 12 starry sky rulers should be the strongest experts in the universe. Why would they do that? Did they have nothing better to do? The primal chaos stone tablet. The primal chaos stone tablets? It seemed that Feng Xiu was telling the truth. But although he knew it was because of the primal chaos stone tablets, he didn't know what it was about. After all, the 12 starry sky rulers had already refined the primal chaos stone tablet. Why would they be afraid of others refining them? Back then, I divined that the primal chaos stone tablets contained a shocking mystery. But we've already refined them. It's almost impossible to uncover the secret. Chapter 2184. Longao had a rough idea of what the God Diviner was trying to say. Destroy and rebuild. If he destroyed himself, his Yuan spirit would enter the cycle of reincarnation and choose to refine the primal chaos tablet once more. Perhaps he would be able to uncover the secrets within. There was no doubt. Under such circumstances, the God Diviner definitely wouldn't be able to uncover the secrets of the primal chaos tablet. That was because the God Diviner had already reached the ruler realm. As for whether or not the God Diviner's Tao of divination was accurate was still unknown. If the God Diviner was wrong, then the 11 rulers of the starry sky would be doomed. They would have wasted so many years. I trust that you've already guessed it. I refined the primal chaos tablet, but I didn't discover its secret. What did the God Diviner mean? He couldn't figure it out. Longao, the heaven martial plane is a plane that I divined back then. After being sealed for so many years, the other rulers of the starry sky have also guessed it. Senior, are you saying that the secrets of the primal chaos tablet are related to the heaven martial plane? Correct? Longao was very worried. He knew exactly what the God Diviner meant. If that was the case, he had to move Dragon Valley as quickly as possible. He couldn't let anything happen to it. No one would know. But was that even possible? As the ruler of the starry sky, the God Diviner had complete control over the heaven martial plane. Let alone Dragon Valley, even a fly wouldn't be able to leave the martial heaven continent. As if he could guess what Longao was thinking, the God Diviner smiled. Longao, I know what you mean. If you want, you can take Dragon Valley and leave the martial heaven continent at any time. Longao wasn't surprised that the God Diviner could guess what he was thinking. Was he really going to take Dragon Valley away? If there wasn't the threat of the heaven-devouring empire, Longao would definitely take Dragon Valley away. No matter what, the God Diviner's words were enough to show how dangerous the martial heaven continent was. However, now wasn't the time. The starry sky was filled with danger. If he forcefully took Dragon Valley away, who knew what would happen? Senior, let's drop this matter here. Smiling, Master God Diviner said, you can stay here for 3 days. After that, I'll take you to another location where you'll be pleasantly surprised. That's right, Master God Diviner. All right. Although Longao didn't know where Master God Diviner was going to take him, he knew that since things had come to this point, he had no choice but to accept it. Crystal Palace. After Longao left, only Master God Diviner remained. I hope my guess is right. Longao is a variable. Master God Diviner could never have guessed that not only was Longao not the ruler of the starry sky of Samsara, but he was actually a variable. Slaughter Abyss. Longao didn't return openly. Instead, he snuck into the Dragon Valley without anyone noticing. With Longao's current strength, no one would be able to discover him once he entered the Massacre Abyss. Currently, the Massacre Abyss had at least 10 Starry Sky territory ancestors. Moreover, Master God Diviner, the ruler of the Starry Sky, was guarding it. The Tianwu Plain was like an iron plate that no one could enter. Longao first met his grandfather, his parents, and his uncles and aunt. Then he went to take a look at Aoshua. Because Aoshua was pregnant and had not given birth yet, he did not know if he did not sense it. He was shocked when he sensed it. Aoshua, my son is already a starry sky cultivator? Yes, I don't know what's going on. However, as the little guy's cultivation base is getting stronger, I'm able to devour more energy. Longao was surprised. Although he already knew what was going on, his son's cultivation base was breaking through too fast. He was already a grade 1 starry sky cultivator. If this continued, who knew what level the child's cultivation base would break through when he was born? Aoshua, here are 10,000 starry sky god sparks. Don't be stingy. Devour as much as you want. She had to admit that Longao's words were domineering. However, since he could casually take out 10,000 starry sky god sparks, it was enough to show how powerful Longao was. She nodded obediently. Longao and Aoshua spent a few hours together. Then, he left to find Yuin. According to Aoshua, Yuin was cultivating wholeheartedly. Longao was very clear that when Yuin obtained the world of darkness back then, she had not completely refined it all the way until now. Inside the secret chamber. Currently, Yuin was cultivating wholeheartedly. No matter how hard she tried to refine it, the speed was very slow. At this rate, who knew when she would be able to refine the dark world completely? Brother Long, is that you? And Longao and Wang Yuyin's relationship was extremely deep. Towards this woman, Longao had always been grateful. This was because when he was just a piece of trash, this woman had always been by his side. She didn't leave him and didn't abandon him. For a whole 10 years, this kind of dedication, how many women in the world could do it? Yuin held back her tears and hugged Longao tightly. The two of them didn't speak and just quietly hugged each other. After an unknown amount of time. Yuin, how's your refining of the dark world going? Speaking of the dark world, Yuin asked curiously. Speaking of the dark world, Brother Long, take a look and see what's going on. Yuin took out the world of darkness from her bosom. In truth, it was the world of darkness stone tablet. Seeing the small black stone tablet floating in front of him, Longao was shocked. This was because he was very clear about the primal chaos stone tablet. Yuin, are you able to refine it? As though he had guessed something, Longao was shocked to the extreme. Because if his guess was true, then it was too shocking. It seemed a little unrealistic. How could Yuin be the ruler of the dark starry sky? Maybe Yuin got the primal chaos stone tablet by luck. I have no way to refine it. Moreover, the refining speed is too slow. Brother Long, do you recognize this black tablet? Longao didn't hide anything and said, Yuin, in the vast starry sky, there are a total of 12 rulers of the starry sky. Every ruler of the starry sky has a primal chaos stone tablet. They are the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet, devouring primal chaos stone tablet, lightning primal chaos stone tablet, space primal chaos stone tablet, time primal chaos stone tablet, destruction primal chaos stone tablet, reincarnation primal chaos stone tablet, slaughter primal chaos stone tablet, divination primal chaos stone tablet, sword intent primal chaos stone tablet, immortal tyrant chaos stone tablet, darkness primal chaos stone tablet. Without waiting for Yuin to speak, Longao continued, if my guess is correct, the primal chaos stone tablet in your hand should be the dark primal chaos stone tablet of the 12 primal chaos stone tablets. After hearing that, Yin's face was filled with shock. If the world of darkness in her hands was the so-called dark chaos stone tablet, why would it choose her? Chapter 2185. Was Yuin the ruler of the dark starry sky? Longao was not sure. Under normal circumstances, since the dark chaos stone tablet had chosen Yuin, then Yuin was most likely the ruler of the dark starry sky. However, nothing was absolute. Just like back then, he had also obtained the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet and the devour primal chaos stone tablet, but he was neither the 5 elements starry sky ruler nor the devour starry sky ruler. In Longao's heart, of course, he did not wish for Yuin to be the ruler of the dark starry sky. Although the divine mathematician had not dealt with the 11 rulers of the starry sky, he could completely imagine that the divine mathematician would definitely not let the 11 of them recover to their peak state. If that was the case, if Yuin was the ruler of the dark starry sky, he would definitely be in great danger. Brother Long, don't worry about me, I'm fine. Yuin, don't tell anyone that you have the dark chaos stone tablet, understand? Yuin also knew the seriousness of the matter and nodded. When Longao returned, Yuin immediately came out of seclusion. He roughly understood the current situation of the Sky Martial Continent. Yi Dugu had already disbanded the Heaven and Earth sect. As for Yi Gudu's whereabouts, perhaps only Longao knew. In the current Sky Martial Continent, the Massacre Abyss was the most mysterious and powerful existence. However, ever since Longao left, the Dragon Valley did not interfere in the matters of the Sky Martial Continent. In the current Sky Martial Continent, other than the Dragon Valley, who had starry sky cultivators, the rest of the 10 Directions tripod did not have any starry sky cultivators. Under such circumstances, how could anyone dare to provoke the Massacre Abyss? As for the 10 Directions tripod, it was formed by the new 10 supersections. The previous 10 Directions tripod had all been destroyed. According to Longao, the Dragon Valley only needed to be a hidden sect and not interfere in the matters of the Sky Martial Continent. In the Sky Martial Continent, the true ruler was still the divine mathematician. Even the heavenly Tao had no choice but to leave. Aoer, are you all right? Looking at his grandson, Long Hao Sure was extremely worried. This time, his grandson had suddenly returned to the Sky Martial continent. Although he did not say what had happened, Longao sure had already guessed it. "Grandfather, I'm fine." Seeing that his grandson didn't want to say more, Longao sure sighed helplessly in his heart. 3 days passed in the blink of an eye. Longao then left the massacre abyss and headed for the Outer Sea Crystal Palace. With Longao's current strength, it would only take him 3 seconds to teleport to the Crystal Palace in the Outer Sea. "How's your family?" Master God Diviner smiled. Longao also smiled and nodded, replying, "My family is doing well. Thank you for taking care of them, Senior. I will continue to trouble Senior in the future." "You're welcome. Come with me." Master God Diviner didn't waste any time. He rose to his feet and led Longao away. With a single step, he arrived at the center of the deep sea. The Astral Secret Realm. That's right, it's the Star's secret realm. It wasn't Longao's first time here, so he knew that the place Master Clairvoyant was taking him to was the Star Mystic Realm he had entered before. The Astral Secret Realm had a total of 9 spaces. Back then, he had only entered the first 3 spaces. As for what the other 6 spaces were, he didn't know. Longao, according to the rumors, the Astral Secret Realm has 9 spaces. However, I can tell you that there is only 1 space in the Astral Secret Realm. Strictly speaking, the Astral Secret Realm is a giant seal placed by the 12 rulers of the starry sky. What Master God Diviner was saying was definitely a shocking secret. According to the legends, the Astral Secret Realm contained all kinds of treasures, divine sparks, and even primal chaos stone tablet. But in the end, the Astral Secret Realm was actually a seal placed by the 12 rulers of the starry sky. In the end, it was all a lie. However, what shocked Longao the most was what the Martial Heaven continent contained. Why would it require the 12 rulers of the starry sky to place a seal? The 12 rulers of the starry sky were existences that stood at the peak of the starry sky. It was easy to imagine how terrifying a seal placed by them would be. "Senior, is there something sealed in the Astral Secret Realm?" "There isn't." "There wasn't?" If there wasn't, why would the 12 rulers of the starry sky seal it? Did they have nothing better to do? Intuition told Longao that things weren't as simple as he thought. The 12 rulers of the starry sky wouldn't seal the Astral Secret Realm for no reason. Longao, back then, I obtained the Divine Divination Primal Chaos Stone Tablet. Ever since I refined it and became the Divine Divination Starry Sky, I've been divining the vastness of the starry sky. After countless years of divining, I finally found this place, and this location. Longao didn't say anything. He knew that Master God Diviner had called him here for a reason. Although I can't divine anything about this location, the 12 of us can sense a mysterious power coming from this place. It's very powerful. Even if the 12 of us work together, we won't be able to resist it. This time, Longao wasn't surprised. If there wasn't a situation here, the 12 rulers of the starry sky wouldn't have joined hands to seal it. "Senior, is this mysterious power a threat to you?" Master God Diviner knew what Longao meant. He said helplessly, "I don't know. Even I can't divine it. But just in case, we can only seal it for now." After some divining and sensing, we discovered that this mysterious power has something to do with our primal chaos stone tablet. At this moment, Longao finally understood why the 12 rulers of the starry sky had chosen to die and enter the cycle of reincarnation to refine the primal chaos stone tablet. It seemed that this place had a lot to do with it. It seems you've guessed it. Yes, Senior Master God Diviner. Besides you, will the other 11 rulers of the starry sky continue? Even now, Longao wasn't sure if Master God Diviner would act against the 11 rulers of the starry sky. Countless years ago, Master God Diviner wouldn't have been a match for the 11 rulers of the starry sky. But now, even if the 11 rulers of the starry sky joined forces, they still wouldn't be a match for Master God Diviner. If Master God Diviner wanted to, he could wipe them out at any time. I don't know. I'm waiting for them to refine the primal chaos stone tablet. I'm almost done divining. But I have a feeling that if the 12 of us work together, we'll be able to control this power. If we do, we might be able to break through the bottleneck and achieve true immortality. An immortality was something that not even the 12 rulers of the starry sky could achieve. Chapter 2186. The 12 rulers of the starry sky truly stood at the peak of the starry sky. Without a doubt, the only thing the 12 rulers of the starry sky pursued was immortality and indestructibility. They would die and be reborn, then refine the chaos steels once more. But the 12 rulers of the starry sky hadn't expected this to end in failure. Longao still couldn't figure it out. This matter didn't seem to have anything to do with him. This was a matter between the 12 rulers of the starry sky. Was he qualified to participate? Senior, if you have something to say, then say it. He got right to the point. There was no point in wasting time like this. He thought for a moment. Longao, when the time comes, I hope you can help us control this power together. Me? He was very curious. He didn't know what Master Godly Diviner meant. Longao was almost certain that Master Godly Diviner didn't know he devoured the chaos steels. Even if Master Godly Diviner was a ruler of the starry sky, he wasn't omnipotent. Since that was the case, he was only the ruler of the starry sky. How could he help the 12 rulers achieve this? Yes, you. As for when, I'll let you know. Master Godly Diviner wasn't asking for Longao's opinion. He was forcing it. Strength reigned supreme. Shrugging helplessly, Longao said, Since that's the case, I'll respectfully accept. Good. To thank you, I can help you break through to the starry sky realm king. He was overjoyed. Master Godly Diviner took out a drop of blood. This is the blood of a titled world emperor. It's fused with my power. As long as you devour and refine it, I believe you'll smoothly break through to the starry sky realm king. Understood. Master Godly Diviner left. As for Longao, he stayed behind, preparing to break through before leaving. Big brother, you must not devour this drop of blood. What's going on? Hearing Long Chang's voice transmission, Longao was very curious. Was there something fishy about the blood? Big brother, this drop of blood is fused with Master Godly Diviner's power. If you forcibly devour it, once you refine it, you'll be completely under Master Godly Diviner's control. So that was the case. Between Master Godly Diviner and Long Chang, Longao wouldn't hesitate to choose Long Chang over Master Godly Diviner. Sky Realm, if he... Sky... Just as Longao was about to destroy the blood, the God Diviner clearly wanted to control him without anyone noticing. If he casually destroyed the drop of blood and the God Diviner found out, he would definitely be in trouble. What should I do? Since Long Chang became the Dragon Seal's device spirit, Long Chang had completely taken over the Dragon Seal and gained many abilities that he didn't have before. Big brother, give me this drop of blood. I guarantee that Master Godly Diviner will think that you've started refining it. Okay. Longao handed the blood to Long Chang. Just as he was about to leave, the situation suddenly changed. A terrifying force suddenly came from the entrance of the starry sky's secret realm. Before Longao could react, Longao's figure had disappeared without a trace with a whoosh. Everything was in chaos. What is this place? It was pitch black all around. Longao didn't dare to move, but he could feel that the aura here was very suitable for his cultivation. He was very curious, but more than that, he was pleasantly surprised. Without the slightest hesitation, Longao immediately began to cultivate. After an unknown period of time, when Longao woke up, he was already in the outer sea. What happened just now? After calculating the time, Longao discovered that he had only disappeared for a few minutes. But these few minutes were of great help to him. Although he hadn't broken through to the Starry Sky World King realm yet, according to the current situation, he should be able to officially break through to the Starry Sky World King realm in at most a few years. Longao wasn't too greedy. He had always been very satisfied with his cultivation speed. No matter how one put it, it hadn't been long since he had left Scarlet Flame Town, but he had already reached this level. He could be considered unprecedented. Return to the Dragon Valley? Or leave the Martial Heaven continent? After thinking about it, Longao chose to leave the Martial Heaven continent. Even if he returned to the Dragon Valley, he wouldn't be able to do anything other than make everyone reluctant to part with him. With endless reluctance, Longao went to the void of the 9 heavens. The seal automatically opened. As soon as he left the Martial Heaven continent, Xian Tong appeared from within the black fragment. Looking at Longao, he sighed deeply and helplessly said, "Longao, although I don't know what the God Diviner means, I'm certain that he doesn't have any good intentions towards you. You should be careful." "Many thanks for the warning, Senior." Senior, is what the God Diviner said true or false? Even now, Longao still didn't completely believe the God Diviner. Who knew whether the God Diviner was telling the truth or not? What if the God Diviner was trying to trick him? It's true. As for what's going on, even I don't know. Back then, the 11 of us were duped by the God Diviner for the sake of being undying and indestructible. As a result, the 11 of us died and entered the cycle of reincarnation. This time, if we can refine the Primal Chaos Tablet and step back into the Ruler Realm, I definitely won't continue. Longao was very clear that, let alone Xian Tong, he was certain that the other rulers of the Starry Sky wouldn't all choose to continue. No one would walk the same path twice. Senior Xian Tong, in your opinion, why did the God Diviner choose me out of everyone else? In any case, it wasn't a good thing. The God Diviner clearly wanted that mysterious power. As for whether he and the other 11 rulers of the Starry Sky lived or died, the God Diviner didn't care. Xian Tong thought for a moment and said, "Longao, the God Diviner is the ruler of the Starry Sky. The Primal Chaos Tablet is said to be able to predict everything under the heavens. The person who wanted that mysterious power the most back then was the God Diviner. This time, he came to find you because he saw something. Again, although I don't know what the God Diviner wants, the fact that he chose you means that he wants to borrow your strength to obtain that mysterious power." Chapter 2187. Regarding this matter, Longao had already guessed it. It seemed that he was in big trouble this time. Taking a step back, even if the divine mathematician borrowed his mysterious power, he would be helpless. After all, the divine mathematician's strength was there for all to see. The divine mathematician was the strongest in the vast starry sky. It would be easy for him to cover the sky with one hand. He was helpless. Under such circumstances, he could only take one step at a time. If he could refine the Primal Chaos Stone Tablet in his body before the divine mathematician made his move and break through to the Starry Sky Ruler Realm, then everything would be fine. Even if the divine mathematician wanted to deal with him, it would not be easy. It would depend on his luck. After leaving the Sky Martial Realm, Longao headed to the Soaring Dragon Realm. Originally, he had planned to develop the Sex Foundation after a period of time. It would not be too late to establish an empire. But now Longao suddenly changed his mind. Immediately establish an empire. But before establishing an empire, he had to do one thing. First, he had to rule thousands of realms. If he forced it, he would definitely provoke the Grand Cloud Empire. No matter what, the Grand Cloud Empire was the ruler of the Grand Cloud Realm. Longao, who had just returned, told them his plan. Heifeng and Feng Xiu were shocked. They did not know why the master suddenly wanted to establish an empire after leaving for a period of time. What was going on? But they knew the master's character well. Once the master had decided on something, under normal circumstances, it was impossible to change it. It was a very depressing matter. Big Brother Feng, if we were to rule the realms one by one, it would definitely be very troublesome. The only way now is to deal with the Grand Cloud Empire directly and take over the Grand Cloud Realm. The two looked at each other and saw a trace of shock in each other's eyes. If it was in the past, the Dragon Sect would not be able to destroy the Grand Cloud Empire. But now, the situation was completely different. Feng Xiu alone was enough to intimidate the Grand Cloud Empire. The Starry Sky World Emperor was not just a title. Master, let's check if there is a Starry Sky World Emperor or a titled World Emperor in the Grand Cloud Empire. Don't go for wool and come home shorn. This was the most important thing. If the Grand Cloud Empire had a Starry Sky World Emperor or a titled World Emperor, it would be almost impossible to destroy the Grand Cloud Empire. However, Longao smiled. The strongest powerhouse in Grand Cloud Empire is a titled World King. We can act without worry. The two of them were very curious. They didn't know how the master knew. However, the two of them didn't ask because they knew that if the master wanted to talk about it, there was no need for them to ask. The master would tell them anyway. If the master didn't want to talk about it, even if they asked, it would be pointless. As for how Longao knew about it, this time, after leaving the Heaven Martial Plane, Longao had already decided to establish an empire. That was indeed the case. Before leaving, Longao asked Master Godly Mathematician if there was a Starry Sky World Emperor or a titled World Emperor in Grand Cloud Empire. Master Divine Mathematician answered with absolute certainty. The strongest powerhouse within the Grand Cloud Empire was only a titled World King. Longao didn't doubt Master Divine Mathematician's words at all. However, Longao didn't launch a large-scale attack on the Grand Cloud Empire. No matter what, the strength of the Grand Cloud Empire was there. If he acted rashly, even if he could destroy the Grand Cloud Empire, he would have to pay a heavy price. Deterrence. Longao used his status as the master of the Dragon Sect to send a message to the Grand Cloud Empire. The meaning was very simple. He wanted the Grand Cloud Empire to be tactful and voluntarily give up on ruling the Grand Cloud Empire. Otherwise, they would have to bear the consequences. If it was the Dragon Sect of the past, the Grand Cloud Empire wouldn't even put the Dragon Sect in their eyes. But now, there was a Starry Sky World Emperor in the Dragon Sect. Not to mention the strength of the Dragon Sect, just the Starry Sky World Emperor wasn't someone the Grand Cloud Empire could contend against. The Grand Cloud Empire was extremely depressed because the meaning of the Dragon Sect was very clear. Could it be that they had to resist? If so, the Grand Cloud Empire would only have a dead end. There was no other choice. The Grand Cloud Empire issued a statement to withdraw from the ruling position of the Grand Cloud Realm. However, the Dragon Sect had to promise the Grand Cloud Empire that the Grand Cloud Realm would always be the territory of the Grand Cloud Empire. The Dragon Sect couldn't enter. This request wasn't too much. If they didn't even agree to this request, it would be a little unkind. Because of this, Longao didn't even think about it and directly agreed to the request of the Grand Cloud Empire. The abdication of the Grand Cloud Empire completely shook the vast starry sky. However, the fall of one starry sky empire and the rise of another starry sky empire was a little too common for the vast starry sky. Following the abdication of the Grand Cloud Empire, the Grand Cloud Realm was renamed as the Soaring Dragon Realm. Originally, according to Heifeng and Feng Xiu's idea, the empire's name was Longao Empire. However, after thinking about it, Longao finally decided to change the name of the Longao Empire to the Soaring Dragon Empire. The Soaring Dragon Realm had a total of more than 1,000 realms. Each realm had countless realms. In this way, the number of realms in the soaring dragon realm was innumerable. Longao was very clear that not to mention the other realms, just the countless realms in the soaring dragon realm alone definitely had terrifying existences. It was just that some powerful starry sky cultivators liked to live in seclusion. This was also why Longao wasn't willing to crusade against one realm after another. No one knew which realm had a peerless expert overseeing it. If he encountered a powerful starry sky cultivator, wouldn't he be looking for trouble for no reason? The Soaring Dragon Realm was no longer the Dragon Sect, but the so-called Soaring Dragon Empire. The main hall had been renovated and became more magnificent. Brother Long, could it be that you really don't want to be the emperor yourself? Hearing that Longao refused to become the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire, no matter if it was He Feng or Feng Xiu, both of them felt that it was inconceivable. Because from their point of view, since Longao had already established his own empire, there was no doubt that Longao would become the first emperor. This was something that Longao had already decided before he established the empire. The two of you don't need to persuade me anymore. I have already made up my mind. I will not be the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire. Feng Xiu thought about it and finally sighed deeply. He said helplessly, Brother Long, since you don't want to be the emperor of the empire, then who do you want to be the emperor of the empire? This was the matter that the two of them were most concerned about. With the establishment of the Soaring Dragon Empire, they believed that it would definitely rise in the future. If they could become the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire, their status would definitely skyrocket. However, He Feng and Feng Xiu had already decided that they would definitely not become the emperor of the empire. Longao also knew what the two of them were thinking. Chapter 2188. Who should he choose? Many people appeared in Longao's mind, but none of them seemed suitable. After thinking for a while, Longao finally decided on one person. There was no one more suitable than this person. Longao immediately left the Soaring Dragon Realm and entered the Sky Martial Realm. This time, Longao left the Sky Martial Realm. Not only did the clairvoyant give Longao the method to lock onto the Sky Martial Realm, but he also gave Longao the token to open the seal. In other words, Longao could lock onto the Sky Martial Realm and enter it at any time. This time, when he returned to the Sky Martial Plane, Longao only saw his grandfather and parents. As for Ao Shui and Yuan, he didn't see them. In 3 days, Longao brought the person he wanted back to the Soaring Dragon Realm. Master, this is? The two of them had already guessed that the person the master brought back was most likely the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire. This is my big brother, the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire. As expected. All right. Long Ying was now a Starry Sky territory ancestor. Since he had been devouring Starry Sky godheads to break through, he had to continue devouring Starry Sky godheads. After killing Feng Shan and Feng Xia, Longao had obtained 2 Starry Sky godheads. One Starry Sky godhead was given to his grandfather, while the other one was given to Long Ying. According to Longao's calculations, it would take at most a few months for his big brother to break through to the Starry Sky Boundary Lord. 7th brother, can I really do it? Until now, Long Ying was still in a daze. He did not expect his 7th brother to choose him. Although he knew that the Soaring Dragon Empire had just been established, with his 7th brother's miraculous abilities, it would not be long before the Soaring Dragon Empire became incomparably strong. It was a little unbelievable for him to become the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire. Big brother, I believe in you. Looking at his 7th brother's smile, Long Ying also smiled. The establishment of the Soaring Dragon Empire shook the entire heaven-devouring empire. Chen Chen and Chen Ting would never have thought that not only did Longao not hide, he even openly established an empire. They had seen arrogant people, but they had never seen such an arrogant person. However, the seal on the soaring dragon realm was a little too strong. Even a titled world emperor would not be able to break it. Until now, Chunting and Chunchun still didn't know how Longao did it. A large-scale attack? Chunting and Chunchun didn't make a move, and they intended to wait and see. Because everyone knew that if they were unable to hit the target with a single strike, then once they alerted the enemy, the consequences would be unimaginable. That was it. The Soaring Dragon Empire and Devouring Heaven Empire were peaceful. All the surrounding planes, realms, and even the Starry Sky Empires were waiting to see how the two Starry Sky Empires would fare. The war between the two Starry Sky Empires was bound to start sooner or later. At that time, it would really be unknown who would win and who would lose. However, the Devouring Heaven Empire was an old Starry Sky Empire, and its strength was obvious. As for the Soaring Dragon Empire, it was only because there was a Starry Sky Realm Emperor in the empire that the Grand Cloud Empire was forced to abdicate. In terms of strength, how could the Soaring Dragon Empire be a match for the Heaven Devouring Empire? They were simply seeking death. The Soaring Dragon Realm was the main camp of the Soaring Dragon Empire, and it was directly replaced. However, the Grand Cloud Empire kept their word and sealed the Grand Cloud Realm. The Grand Cloud Empire was also guarding against the Soaring Dragon Empire. Who knew if the Soaring Dragon Empire would suddenly attack? It was better to be safe than sorry. Within the secret room. Seventh brother, I have already refined the Starry Sky God Spark, but I still haven't broken through to the Starry Sky Realm Lord. What is going on? Long Ying was depressed to the extreme. Under normal circumstances, his big brother should be able to break through to the Starry Sky Realm Lord after devouring the Starry Sky God Spark. However, his big brother didn't break through as expected. What was going on? Longao was also curious. After checking, he said, "Big brother, this Starry Sky Realm Lord God Spark is very resistant. Even if you refine it, you won't be able to fully integrate the Starry Sky Realm Lord God Spark's power. Hence, you haven't broken through to the Starry Sky Realm." I see. Seventh brother, what should I do now? It's very simple. As long as you continue to devour energy, with your current situation, I believe it will be easy for you to break through to the Starry Sky Realm Lord. Long Ying believed in his seventh brother. If it wasn't for Longao's sudden rise, not to mention, even the entire family would still be a rank 9 family in Scarlet Fire Town. How could they have grown to their current state and even become the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire? Even at this moment, Long Ying was still sighing. Just like this, Long Ying continued to stay in the secret room and devour energy, striving to break through to the Starry Sky Realm Lord as soon as possible. The reason why Longao allowed Long Ying to break through so quickly was mainly because his big brother had already become the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire. His strength had to be strong because every emperor of a Starry Sky Empire was a powerful Starry Sky cultivator. Longao had already seized the primordial spirits of the 2 titled world kings. He killed before and refined them into titled world king godheads. He gave one titled World King Godhead to his big brother and the other titled World King Godhead to Heifeng. If there were no accidents, as long as the 2 of them could refine it, they would become titled World Kings. When Longao gave the titled World King Godhead to Heifeng, Heifeng was in disbelief. Although he had destroyed his own force because of Longao, now because of Longao, his cultivation had continuously broken through. Not only did he become a Starry Sky Realm Lord, but if he devoured the titled World King Godhead, he would become a titled World King. If it was in the past, he wouldn't even dare to think about it. "Many thanks, Brother Long," Longao smiled and said, "Heifeng, this is what I can give you now. But don't worry, as long as there is a chance, I will definitely find the Starry Sky Realm King Godhead for you. At that time, you will definitely become a Starry Sky Realm King." Heifeng didn't doubt Longao's words in the slightest. Heifeng devoured the titled World King Godhead and refined it at the fastest speed. He hoped to refine the titled World King Godhead in the shortest time possible and break through to the titled World King realm. After everything was settled, the next step was to think about how to deal with the heaven-devouring empire. Longao was very clear that the heaven-devouring empire wouldn't give him a chance to breathe. Even if he didn't make a move now, it didn't mean that the heaven-devouring empire wouldn't make a move. It was necessary to prepare early. Long Ying didn't disappoint. After devouring a huge amount of energy, his cultivation finally broke through to the Starry Sky Realm Lord. As for devouring a titled World King, it wasn't a matter of time. Now that Long Ying was the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire, there were many things he had to do. Long Ying was an outstanding ruler. If not, Long Ao wouldn't have made such a choice. Chapter 2189. Soaring Dragon Realm. Long Batian and Yi Gudu stood quietly. Long Ao isn't simple. Father wants me to befriend him, but I don't know why. From start to end, Yi Gudu never placed Long Ao in his eyes. His father was the ruler of the universe. Not to mention the Sky Martial Plane, he could do whatever he wanted in the entire universe. Because of this, Yi Gudu really couldn't understand why his father wanted him to befriend Long Ao. Master, Long Ao isn't our enemy. Long Batian was sincerely concerned about Long Ao. However, if Yi Gudu was determined to deal with Long Ao, even he wouldn't be able to do anything. Although he had broken through to the titled World King realm, he had chosen to submit. As long as Yi Gudu wanted to, he could kill him at any time. Long Batian naturally didn't want to be Long Ao's enemy. Yi Gudu, however, smiled. Long Batian, if I asked you to deal with Long Ao, what would you do? What he feared would happen. Long Batian could clearly sense that Yi Gudu was hostile to Long Ao. Did Yi Gudu really want to deal with Long Ao? No matter how unwilling he was, Long Batian still said in a firm voice, I will do whatever my master tells me to do. I will never be disloyal. Yi Gudu seemed satisfied with Long Batian's answer. Yi Gudu smiled and nodded. If Long Ao is obedient, I won't do anything to him. However, if he dares to be disloyal, don't blame me for being ruthless. Even though Yi Gudu knew that the Soaring Dragon Realm had a Starry Sky World Emperor, he wasn't worried at all. As long as he wanted to, he could return to the Sky Martial Plane. With his father's help, he could break through to the Starry Sky World Emperor or even a titled World Emperor. However, according to his father, he had to train first. Long Batian was helpless. He didn't know what Yi Gudu meant. Master, where should we go now? You don't need to know. Yi Gudu sighed helplessly. Long Ao didn't know about Yi Gudu and Long Batian. Soaring Dragon Realm had just been established. There were too many things to do. Especially the heaven-devouring empire. Long Ao didn't know why the heaven-devouring empire hadn't made a move yet. After all, he had already established the Soaring Dragon Empire. If the heaven-devouring empire didn't make a move now, when would they make a move? The more the heaven-devouring empire acted like this, the more Long Ao didn't dare to relax. No one knew what the heaven-devouring empire was up to. In the main hall. Seventh brother, I have a rough understanding of the grudge between you and the heaven-devouring empire. Based on my guess, the reason why the heaven-devouring empire hasn't made a move yet is because they want to kill you in one blow. It was a sure-hit attack. Long Ao knew what his elder brother meant. I think so too. However, if the heaven-devouring empire makes a move now, we might be able to seal the Soaring Dragon Realm, but it won't do us any good. Long Ao was also extremely depressed. The heaven-devouring empire was too powerful. With the current strength of the Soaring Dragon Empire, it was impossible for them to be a match for the heaven-devouring empire. For a moment, Long Ao had no idea how to deal with the heaven-devouring empire. However, Long Ying smiled and said, "Seventh brother, I have a way to deal with the heaven-devouring empire. I wonder if it will work." "Big brother, please speak." Longao was also very curious. He didn't know what his elder brother's plan was. It would be best if there was a way to deal with the heaven-devouring empire at this time. "Seventh brother, based on what you said, there are countless starry sky empires. If I'm not wrong, the heaven-devouring empire has its own enemies. We can retreat in order to advance. Let's say that the heaven-devouring empire has a primal chaos stone tablet. This way, there will definitely be people who will delay the heaven-devouring empire." It didn't sound like a good plan, but it was the best plan under the circumstances. Heaven-devouring empire. Chun Chun was formulating a plan to deal with Longao. He was prepared to kill the Longao in one blow. If Longao escaped this calamity, it would be extremely difficult to kill Longao in the future. In a secret chamber, looking at the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet, Chun Chun was in disbelief. He never thought that he would be the reincarnation of the 5 elements starry sky sovereign. Once his Yuan spirit awakened, he would be the true starry sky sovereign. The 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet came automatically. Chun Chun had already decided to give up on dealing with Longao for the time being. No matter what, the most important thing now was to awaken his Yuan spirit and refine the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet. Once he became the starry sky sovereign, destroying Longao would be a matter of minutes. If Longao knew that Chun Chun was the so-called 5 elements starry sky sovereign, what would he think? The 12 starry sky sovereigns were all related to Longao, including the dark starry sky sovereign and the 5 elements starry sky sovereign. Chun Ting and the others were depressed when their father suddenly went into seclusion. They didn't know what was wrong with their father, but they knew that he must have his reasons for going into seclusion. Thus, they didn't disturb him. The 2 starry sky sovereigns were enough. Chun Ting was confident that as long as Che Yimin and Dongfang Hao were here, they would be able to deal with Longao. Even Chun Ting and the others didn't know that Chun Chun was the 5 elements starry sky sovereign. However, Chun Chun was happy too early. After 3 days of devouring, the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet left Chun Chun's body again. This made Chun Chun depressed. It turned out that Chun Chun wasn't the 5 elements starry sky sovereign. It was just a mistake. It was just like when Longao obtained the devouring primal chaos stone tablet and started refining it. Not only that, after the 5 elemental primal chaos stone tablet left Chun Chun's memories of the 5 elemental primal chaos stone tablet disappeared. As for who the owner of the 5 elemental primal chaos stone tablet was, Chun Chun still had no idea. Seeing their father suddenly come out of seclusion, Chun Ting and the others were confused. Their father had been in seclusion for less than a day. What was going on with him? Chun Ting asked curiously, "Father, what should we do now? How do we deal with Longao?" According to the news, Longao has established the Soaring Dragon Empire and is developing very quickly. If we allow him to develop like this, it will cause trouble for us. In the end, Chun Ting was very afraid of Longao. When Longao first stepped into the vast starry sky, he was only a level 8 starry sky cultivator. In just a few years, he had broken through to starry sky realm lord. Such talent and cultivation speed was unbelievable. Because of this, Chun Ting couldn't wait to kill Longao. That way, he could cut the weeds and eliminate the root. He wouldn't have to be afraid of anything. Chapter 2190. Of course, Chun Chun knew what Chun Ting was afraid of. It would be a lie to say that he wasn't afraid. Longao's talent and potential were too terrifying. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, it would have been hard to believe. Attack. But like I said before, we have to kill him in one strike. Don't give Longao any chance to catch his breath. Chun seemed to have forgotten about the matter of the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet. Soaring Dragon Realm. Longao, who was currently considering how to take the next step, suddenly had a huge change in expression. It can't be. Back Mountain Forbidden Area. Longao was a little dumbfounded when he saw the colorless stone tablet flying towards him. He had already obtained this stone tablet before, so he naturally knew what this stone tablet meant. 5 elements chaos stone tablet? Longao was a little dumbfounded. The 5 elements chaos stone tablet had been given to Master God Diviner. According to Master God Diviner, the 5 elements chaos stone tablet was no longer with him. If that was the case, then the 5 elements starry sky ruler's nascent divinity should have already awakened. But what was the result? Why would the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet come looking for him? Was he the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky? What a ridiculous thing! Xian Tong's figure appeared instantly. He was also shocked. He said, Longao, are you the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky? Xian Tong and Longao both knew that the chaos stone tablet wouldn't randomly choose a master. There was only one explanation, and that was that Longao was likely the ruler of the 5 elements starry skies. Otherwise, why would the 5 elements chaos stone tablet choose Longao for no reason? Senior Xiantong, I believe you should know that it's impossible for me to be the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky. Xiantong nodded. He also knew very well that Longao was definitely not the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky. Otherwise, he would have awakened long ago. The 12 dominators of the starry sky were the dominator of the 5 elements starry sky, the dominator of the devouring starry sky, the dominator of the lightning starry sky, the dominator of the space starry sky, the dominator of the time starry sky, the dominator of the destruction starry sky, the dominator of the reincarnation starry sky, the dominator of the slaughter starry sky, the dominator of the divine calculation starry sky, the dominator of the sword will starry sky, the dominator of the immortal tyrant body, and the dominator of the darkness starry sky. Apart from the 5 elemental sovereigns, the other 11 sovereigns had all awakened. Only the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky remained. It would be a lie to say that there was nothing fishy going on. What was going on? Why did the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet choose him? Was he really the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky? Until now, Longao still didn't quite believe it. After all, this was a bit ridiculous. The 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet floated in front of Longao. It didn't enter his body, but it didn't leave either. It just floated there quietly. Looking at the 5 elements chaos stone tablet in front of him, Xian Tong's expression became more and more solemn. He seemed to have thought of something. Xian Tong's expression changed. He said in disbelief, Longao, if you're not the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky, then there's only one explanation for the tablet coming to find you. What explanation? Longao seemed to have guessed something, but even he didn't quite believe it. Longao, if I'm not mistaken, the 12 rulers of the stars back then, including me, were not immortal, even though we had the protection of the chaos tablets. Once we entered the cycle of reincarnation, we might truly die. Regarding Xian Tong's meaning, Longao was also very clear. Even the rulers of the stars weren't immortal. However, apart from the 5 elements starry sky, the other 11 rulers had all successfully awakened their primordial spirits and started devouring the tablet. In that case, the 11 rulers were completely safe. As for the 5 elements starry sky, it was still unknown whether they were still alive or not. Senior Xiantong, do you mean to say that the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky has truly died after entering the cycle of reincarnation? Although he didn't want to believe it, Xiantong knew very well that the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky had truly died. He was shocked. Longao knew very well what the 12 rulers of the stars meant. The true death of each ruler of the stars was something that would shock the entire cosmos. Should Master Clairvoyant be blamed for this? If it hadn't been for Master God Diviner's miscalculations, the 11 starry sky rulers wouldn't have all perished and entered the cycle of reincarnation, allowing them to refine the primal chaos tablets. Now that the starry sky rulers of the 5 elements starry sky had perished, the 5 elements primal chaos tablets had no master. In other words, the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet was now ownerless. Anyone could refine the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet. The tablet had chosen Longao. In other words, as long as Longao was willing to refine it, he would be able to do so. It was only a matter of time. Once he succeeded, Longao would become the new ruler of the 5 elements starry sky. However, would Longao choose to refine the 5 elements primal chaos tablet? In the past, Longao would have chosen to refine the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet, because if he could become the ruler of the universe, then he would not have to continue being a chess piece, being schemed against by the clairvoyant without being able to do anything. But now, the situation was completely different. Others might not know, but Longao himself had no choice but to know that he had already obtained a primal chaos stone tablet. This was the 3rd primal chaos stone tablet in the vast starry skies. He had discovered that this primal chaos stone tablet seemed to be more suitable for him. Longao, the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky, has fallen. The tablet is now without an owner. Since it chose you, it means that you are the next ruler of the 5 elements starry sky. Hurry up and refine it. I look forward to seeing you become the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky. Xian Tong seemed to have an affinity with Longao. Otherwise, he wouldn't have helped him time and time again. How could Longao not know this? Just when Xian Tong thought that Longao would definitely choose to refine the 5 elements chaos stone tablet, Longao shook his head and said with a smile, "Senior Xian Tong, I do not wish to refine the 5 elements chaos stone tablet." Hearing Longao's words, Xian Tong was completely dumbfounded. He didn't think that Longao would refuse to refine the tablet. Was this for real? The 12 tablets were something that countless cultivators in the vast cosmos dreamed of obtaining. Once the ruler of the stars fell and the tablet was refined, he could become the new ruler of the stars. But as long as the ruler of the stars didn't fall, even if a cultivator obtained the tablet, they couldn't become the new ruler of the stars. The ruler of the 5 elements starry sky had fallen, and the tablet had chosen Longao. To Longao, this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. In that case, why would Longao refuse? Xian Tong couldn't figure it out. He really couldn't understand what was going on. Chapter 2191. Longao, have you really thought this through? Xian Tong naturally hoped that Longao could refine the 5 elements chaos tablet and become the ruler of the 5 elements galaxy. Xian Tong admired Longao very much. Otherwise, he wouldn't have stayed by Longao's side and helped him all this time. Longao shook his head resolutely. Senior Xian Tong, to be honest, I've already refined the 5 elements chaos tablet and the devour chaos tablet. Unfortunately, neither of them were to my liking. This was the excuse? Xian Tong said anxiously. Longao, you have to understand that the reason you couldn't refine the 5 elements chaos tablet was because the ruler of the 5 elements galaxy hadn't truly fallen. Before Longao could speak, Xian Tong continued, at this time, the ruler of the 5 elements galaxy must have truly fallen. As long as you're willing, you can definitely refine the tablet. Longao was depressed to the extreme. He'd said it very clearly. Xian Tong must have understood. It seemed that Xian Tong was really doing this for his own good. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done this. Senior Xian Tong, I've made up my mind. He stared at Longao in front of him and sighed deeply. Xian Tong knew very well that there was no point in saying more. Take care of yourself? Xian Tong returned to the black iron fragment. Xian Tong was clearly unhappy. He'd said it so many times, but Longao still wasn't willing to refine the 5 Elements Chaos Tablet. He grabbed the 5 Elements Chaos Tablet. Longao's figure quickly disappeared. Within the dragon seal space. Long Chong, your original body has been destroyed and you've been the weapon spirit of the dragon seal. I've let you down. Ever since Long Chong became the artifact spirit of the dragon seal, although Long Ao didn't say anything, he felt very guilty in his heart. This was because Long Chong had helped him. Otherwise, unless Long Chong's brain was damaged, he wouldn't have become the artifact spirit of the dragon seal. Long Ao had been thinking of all sorts of ways to help Long Chong break free from the dragon mark. Now the opportunity had come. Big brother, I know what you're thinking. I've already said it before. I'm willing to do this. No matter what, no matter where, we're brothers. We will always be brothers. The more Long Chong behaved like this, the more guilty Long Ao felt. Long Chong, listen to me. Long Ao didn't give Long Chong a chance to speak. He said, Long Chong, I'm giving you a chance now. You must seize it. Seeing how serious his big brother was, Long Chong understood the seriousness of the matter. Big brother, please speak. Long Chong followed Long Ao's lead. If Long Ao said to go east, Long Chong wouldn't dare go west. If Long Ao said 1, Long Ao wouldn't say 2. I've just obtained the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet. Long Ao explained his thoughts. After hearing that, Long Chong was a little dumbfounded. He'd devoured the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet? It would be a lie to say that he wasn't shocked when encountering such a thing. Long Chong naturally knew what the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet meant. In the vast universe, the 12 Chaos Stone Tablets were the most powerful existences. They were treasures unique to the 12 rulers of the universe. Big brother, are you sure the ruler of the 5 Elements universe has fallen? You'll know once you refine the Chaos Stone Tablet. Whether or not the ruler of the 5 Elements universe had fallen was still a mystery. Even Long Ao didn't know. Perhaps even Xian Tong couldn't guarantee that the ruler of the 5 Elements universe had fallen. The only way was to refine the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet. If the ruler of the 5 Elements universe hadn't fallen, outsiders wouldn't be able to refine it. If the ruler of the 5 Elements universe had fallen, then Long Chong would definitely be able to refine it. Big brother, forgive me for asking, but why don't you refine it? Long Chong was very curious. In Long Chong's opinion, if his big brother could refine the 5 Elemental Chaos Stone Tablet, he would be even more excited than refining it himself. Because of this, he really couldn't understand why his big brother didn't refine the 5 Elemental Chaos Stone Tablet himself. Long Chong didn't know that Long Ao had the 13th Chaos Stone Tablet. No one knew. Long Chong, I already have a Chaos Stone Tablet. Long Ao didn't need to hide anything from Long Chong. Long Chong didn't ask any further. He already knew why his big brother didn't choose to refine the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet himself. It was because he already had a Chaos Stone Tablet. He was pleasantly surprised to the extreme. Long Chong had never imagined that his big brother would also have a Chaos Stone Tablet. If that was the case, then all 3 of them would have a Chaos Stone Tablet. Long Ming himself was a devouring universe ruler. If he and his big brother refined the Chaos Stone Tablet, wouldn't that mean all 3 of them could become universe rulers? If all 3 of them could become universe rulers in the future, then in the vast universe, who would be their match? You can't stay in the Dragon Seal now. If you refine the 5 Elements Chaos Stone Tablet inside the Dragon Seal, it'll be very troublesome. Long Chong nodded. As the artifact spirit of the Dragon Seal, he naturally knew the seriousness of the matter. He asked, Big brother, then what should I do now? Leave the Dragon Seal and refine the Chaos Stone Tablet with Long Ming. He's a devouring universe ruler. He'll definitely have a lot of experience in refining Chaos Stone Tablet. Longao had already thought about this. Although Long Ming was a devouring universe ruler, he was still his brother. No matter what happened, he would choose Long Ming. Big brother, if I leave the dragon seal, what will you do? The dragon seal couldn't be without an artifact spirit. However, Longao smiled and said, I'll try to refine the dragon seal. I don't know why, but I keep having a feeling that the dragon seal is connected to me by blood. Longao had never told this feeling to Long Fu. From the beginning to the end, he had always been on guard against Long Fu. Longao arrived at Long Ming's place of seclusion. This was a forbidden area of the soaring dragon empire. Other than Longao, no one else could enter. Big brother, you're here. How's your refining going? Long Ming sighed deeply and said helplessly, Big brother, to be honest, when I first entered the cycle of reincarnation, my primordial spirit awakened too late. I missed the best opportunity, so refining the devouring Chaos Stone Tablet this time will be more difficult than the first time. Longao had already guessed this. Whether or not the 12 universe rulers had died, as long as they didn't refine the Chaos Stone Tablet, their primordial spirits wouldn't be able to truly awaken. Although Long Chong trusted Long Ming, he was still a little worried. If Long Ming really refined the Chaos Stone Tablet, no one knew what would happen in the future. Chapter 2192. Longao didn't tell Long Ming what he was worried about. Big brother, are you looking for me for something? Long Ming asked curiously. He knew that as long as his big brother didn't encounter something serious, he wouldn't disturb him. Could it be that his big brother encountered something serious? Longao didn't beat around the bush. He went straight to the point and told Long Ming everything that had happened. Long Ming was shocked after listening to Huang Xiaolong's story. He never thought that the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet would look for his big brother. Big brother, if I'm not wrong, there's only one explanation for the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet choosing you. The ruler of the 5 elements starry sky has truly fallen. Even Long Ming couldn't help but sigh. In the vast universe, there were a total of 12 rulers. Even if the 12 rulers weren't immortal, they weren't existences that could die easily. 11 rulers had fallen and entered the cycle of reincarnation. Who would have thought that the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky had truly fallen? We don't know if the ruler of the 5 elements starry sky has fallen. We'll know once we see if Long Chong can refine the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet. Long Chong nodded. Long Chong and Long Ming stayed behind to cultivate and refine their respective primal chaos stone tablet. Other than Long Ao and a few others, no one else knew about the 5 elements primal chaos stone tablet. Long Ing and Hei Feng had devoured the titled World King's godheads, and they couldn't refine them in a short time. Hence, they didn't choose to cultivate in seclusion. The heaven-devouring empire had finally attacked the soaring dragon empire after enduring for several months. This battle was unavoidable. Everyone was looking forward to the war between the two empires. However, no one was optimistic about the soaring dragon empire. The difference between the two empires was too big. They weren't even on the same level. It was like an insurmountable chasm. Would the soaring dragon empire accept the challenge? As long as the soaring dragon empire wasn't stupid, they wouldn't do such a thing. It was simply courting death. However, this time, Long Chong didn't choose to avoid the battle. Meet force with force. Feng Xiu led the soaring dragon empire to wage war against the heaven-devouring empire. With the threat of a starry sky world emperor, even the heaven-devouring empire didn't dare to act recklessly. If the Starry Sky Realm Emperor were to assassinate him, the consequences would be unimaginable. It was a sure-hit attack. This was what Chen Chen was worried about. Chen Chen knew that Long Ao's methods were terrifying. It would be bad for the heaven-devouring empire if he couldn't kill Longao in one hit. Letting the tiger return to the mountain would only lead to endless trouble. As for whether Chen Chen and the others had come or not, Longao did not know. Caution is the parent of safety. The clash between the two sides was just a symbolic start of war. Both sides were extremely wary of each other, especially the heaven-devouring empire. Feng Xiu's might was undeniable. Inside the main hall, Heifeng said helplessly, "Brother Long, we can't go on like this. Our strength is still lacking compared to the heaven-devouring empire." Long Chong, of course, knew what Heifeng meant. He looked at Long Ying and asked, "Big brother, what do you think?" Long Ying was the emperor of the Soaring Dragon Empire. Long Chong believed in his big brother's ability. Long Ying thought for a while and said, "Seventh brother, Brother Heifeng is right. The heaven-devouring empire's strength is obvious. If we fight them head-on, we won't be their match. If this continues, we will be the ones at a disadvantage." Regarding this matter, Longao naturally knew. He felt helpless. A titled world emperor and two starry sky world emperors. Especially with the strength of the heaven-devouring empire, it was like throwing an egg against a rock. "Seventh brother, I think we should avoid them for now. When we are strong enough, we can come back to deal with the heaven-devouring empire." This was the only way. Longao said solemnly, "Big brother, it's not that your idea is impossible. However, even if we choose to avoid them for now, the heaven-devouring empire might not let us off so easily. Once the heaven-devouring empire seals us, we won't be able to continue developing. It's still impossible for us." They couldn't advance or retreat. Under such circumstances, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. "Seventh brother, this is actually very easy. Even if the heaven-devouring empire wants to seal us, they won't have the time to do so." What did he mean? Longao didn't know what his big brother meant. Did his big brother already have a plan? As expected, Long Ying smiled and said, "We just need to take drastic measures. When the time comes, the heaven-devouring empire won't have time to deal with us. Seventh brother, given our current strength, I'm confident that I can develop the empire into a superpower like the heaven-devouring empire in 100 years. As for the experts, it will depend on you." Taking drastic measures? Longao wasn't a fool. He instantly understood what his big brother meant. At the end of the day, if they went to the heaven-devouring empire to cause trouble, the heaven-devouring empire wouldn't turn around to deal with them. This way, the empire would have enough time to develop. "Big brother, leave this to me." "Seventh brother, you have to be careful." Feng Xiu had already returned and knew about Longao and Long Ying's plan. He immediately went straight to the point. "Brother Long, how about I accompany you this time?" Longao knew what Feng Xiu was worried about. After thinking about it, he nodded and said, "All right." Longao had already thought about this. With his strength alone, it would be troublesome if he encountered the Starry Sky World Emperor. However, with Feng Xiu's help, the situation would be completely different. No matter what, Feng Xiu was still the Starry Sky World Emperor. The two of them left without hesitation. They knew that the heaven-devouring empire had already begun to suppress the Soaring Dragon realm. If they were late, the consequences would be unimaginable. With the help of the teleportation formation, the two of them left the Soaring Dragon realm and entered the Sky-devouring realm in a few hours. They entered the Sky-devouring realm quietly. "Brother Long, what should we do now?" Feng Xiu wasn't afraid at all. Even if he knew that there was a titled world emperor in the heaven-devouring empire, he wasn't worried at all. Longao was touched. He thought about it and said, "Big brother Feng, we're here to take drastic measures. Therefore, I've already thought about it. We'll appear in public. As long as the heaven-devouring empire knows that we're here, they'll stop. No matter what, the heaven-devouring empire's target is me. If they know that I'm in the heaven-devouring realm, they won't attack the Empire. Chapter 2193. Feng Xiu did not object to Longao's actions. His cultivation had already broken through to the Starry Sky World Emperor. As long as he did not meet a titled World Emperor, he was invincible. The Body Clan was not to be trifled with. Just like that, without hiding their tracks, the news of Longao and Feng Xiu entering the devouring sky plane quickly spread throughout the heaven-devouring empire. It would be a lie to say that they were not afraid. Whether it was Feng Xiu or Longao, their strength and threat were obvious. If the two of them did not show their faces, it would be a huge problem for the heaven-devouring empire. In the main hall, the faces of the people who received the news all turned as ugly as they could. Chun and the rest did not expect that Longao would dare to enter the devouring sky plane. He did not put them in his eyes at all. Not putting the Empire in his eyes was a great humiliation to both of them. If this could be tolerated, what could not be tolerated? If the chrysanthemum could be tolerated, the secret cave could not. Just as Chen was about to explode in anger, Ting said, "Father, there seems to be something wrong with Longao entering the Empire's plane." Hearing his son's words, Chen calmed down. He had been blinded by anger earlier. Now that he thought about it, things did not seem to be that simple. He knew that the plane was filled with danger. Once he stepped in, he would have a 90% chance of survival. Since that was the case, why did Longao take the risk to come here? Longao was not a fool. He knew the difference between him and the Empire. It was ridiculous for the two of them to threaten the Empire's position. What did Longao want? Looking at his father, Ting continued, "Father, according to my guess, if nothing goes wrong, Longao came to the Empire's plane this time to take drastic measures against us." In an instant, Chen knew what was going on. Longao knew that the soaring dragon empire was no match for the Empire. If they fought head-on, they would lose without a doubt. Only by taking drastic measures could the soaring dragon empire's urgent situation be solved. So what if they knew? Could it be that they would ignore Longao and continue attacking the soaring dragon realm? With the deterrence of Longao and a Starry Sky Realm Emperor, it would be a lie to say that they were not afraid. Furthermore, their main target was Longao. As long as Longao fell, they wouldn't care about whether the soaring dragon empire would continue to exist or not. This was because the soaring dragon empire was nothing in their eyes. He seemed to be able to read his father's mind. "Imperial Father, since Longao wants to take drastic measures to deal with us, let's beat him at his own game." "How do we beat them at their own game?" Ting sneered and said, "Seal the devouring sky plane and kill Longao. Right at this moment." Dongfang Hao, who had been silent all this while, said, "We can't do that. Brother Chen, Longao and Feng Xiu came prepared this time. Once we seal the plane, we won't be able to kill them." Che Yima agreed and said, "Brother Dongfang is right. We can't act rashly and alert them. Otherwise, it will be difficult to trap Longao in the future." Ting and Chen knew what the two of them were talking about. The few of them could be said to be extremely depressed. The heaven-devouring empire, a titled world emperor, had been reduced to such a sorry state by Longao. Until now, they still hadn't found Longao's exact location. In other words, they still didn't know where Longao came from. Even if they wanted to deal with Longao, they didn't know where to start. On this day, Yidugu and Long Batian suddenly appeared. The two of them were very mysterious. Without Longao knowing, they had entered the heaven-devouring empire and found Chen. In a short day, Yidugu and Long Batian got up and left again. Only Chen knew about this. Even Ting and the other two didn't know. Longao and Feng Xiu didn't stay idle after entering the heaven-devouring plane. Other than revealing their identities, They also killed people from the heaven-devouring empire. The strongest among them was the Starry Sky Sector Lord. Longao didn't dare to take the risk. If the heaven-devouring empire still insisted on attacking the Soaring Dragon Empire, it would cause a lot of trouble for Longao. The Soaring Dragon Empire had just been established and needed time to develop. Without time, everything would be nonsense. As for the 2 Starry Skies Corps slaves, Longao left them for his big brother. Long Ying's cultivation had already smoothly broken through to the Starry Skies World Lord realm, and he had even swallowed a titled World King's godhead. In the future, he would definitely become a titled World King. But so what? It was better to be safe than sorry. What if the heaven-devouring empire secretly attacked Longao? With the help of the 2 Starry Sky Corps demons, Longao was more or less at ease. Why wasn't there any movement? Longao and Feng Xiu were depressed. Under normal circumstances, the heaven-devouring empire should have taken action by now. But now, the heaven-devouring empire was like a sleeping tiger. No matter how much they touched the tiger's butt, the tiger wouldn't move. A sleeping tiger was the most terrifying thing. Longao and Feng Xiu didn't know what the heaven-devouring empire was up to. It was nonsense to say that the heaven-devouring empire had given up on attacking them. What was the heaven-devouring empire trying to do? In a courtyard. The courtyard that Longao had bought was very secluded. As long as it wasn't discovered, it could be used as a resting place for Longao and Feng Xiu. Brother Long, something isn't right. The heaven-devouring empire shouldn't have done anything. Longao nodded. He couldn't figure out what was going on. The more the heaven-devouring empire acted like this, the more fearful he was. Big Brother Feng, since the heaven-devouring empire knows about our whereabouts, they should have taken action against us. But now, there's no movement from them. It seems like they're thinking of a way to deal with us. In that case, why don't we attack their headquarters directly? I want to take drastic measures to deal with them. Feng Xiu was shocked. He never thought that Longao would be so bold as to barge into the headquarters of the heaven-devouring empire. One had to know that the heaven-devouring empire was filled with experts. If they were trapped, the consequences would be unimaginable. Before Feng Xiu could say anything, Longao continued, "Big Brother Feng, wait for me here. I'll go alone." "No, we'll go together." Feng Xiu's face changed. Wasn't Longao implying that he was a coward? What a joke. As a member of the Body Clan, he also regarded Longao as a true friend. How could he just sit here and wait for his death, and let Longao take the risk alone? How could he do such a thing? Chapter 2194. Longao chuckled. "Big Brother Feng, you've misunderstood me." Feng Xiu was confused by Longao's words. He had no idea what Longao was trying to do. "Big Brother Feng, to be honest, I have a Starry Sky Divine Weapon with me. I can enter the Starry Sky Divine Weapon anytime. Even Chun can't do anything to me. This is also the reason why the heaven-devouring empire can't do anything to me." So that was the case. Even so, Feng Xiu was still worried. But after thinking about it, he nodded his head. If this matter was really as Longao said, then Longao going alone was indeed much better than the two of them going together. He left just like that. Longao left the courtyard and headed towards the heaven-devouring empire. Even if Chun and the rest were beaten to death, they would never have thought that Longao would use this move. Would anyone else dare to do something like this? Except for Longao, a madman who wasn't afraid of anything. Within the heaven-devouring empire. This wasn't the first time Longao had entered the heaven-devouring empire. He was familiar with the place and had even disguised himself. Who would know that he had entered the heaven-devouring empire with another identity? There were too many disciples in the heaven-devouring empire. In order not to alert the enemy, Longao did not kill anyone. Even if there were many people in the heaven-devouring empire, the slightest movement would be noticed by the heaven-devouring empire. Moreover, killing some small fry was of no use at all. Just as Longao stepped into the heaven-devouring empire, before he could even make a move, he felt a force locking onto him. It was impossible for him to enter the dragon seal space. If it was before, he could enter the dragon seal space whenever he wanted with Long Chong's help. But now, without Long Chong's help, he couldn't enter the dragon seal space by himself. Looking at the four people in front of him, Longao's face darkened. He couldn't figure out how the four of them had locked onto him. Just the four of them? No wonder the heaven-devouring empire didn't make a move. It turned out that they were prepared. Longao didn't know how the four of them knew that he would come. Longao, there's a path to heaven, but you don't want to take it. There's no door to hell, but you barge in. Chen Ting smiled and continued, this time, I want to see how you're going to leave the heaven-devouring empire alive. Chen Ting and the others were extremely confident. Of course, Chen Ting and the other two didn't know what had happened. Not to mention Longao, even Chen Ting and the other two were very curious. They didn't know how their father knew that Longao would come to the empire and was even able to lock onto his position. Since Chen Chen didn't say anything, the other three didn't ask. Longao, are you curious? That's right. I'm really curious. With just the few of you, you don't have the strength to lock onto my position. I really want to know who it is. Longao had already guessed that this matter was definitely not that simple. There was definitely someone helping Chen Chen and the others from behind. As for who it was, no one knew. Who was it? Longao's intuition told him that he knew this person. However, Chen Chen smiled and said, Longao, I won't tell you. I'll make sure you die with regrets. But don't worry, after you die, I'll launch a large-scale attack on the soaring dragon realm. At that time, not a single blade of grass will be left alive. With the heaven-devouring empire's strength, it was definitely possible. Chen Chen looked around and said, let's go. Dongfang Hao and Che Yimin charged towards Longao at an extremely fast speed. Ever since Chen Chen's cultivation had broken through to the titled World Emperor realm, the three of them were still friends in name. However, their relationship had slowly changed. Even if Dongfang Hao and Che Yimin weren't willing to admit it, they had to admit that Chen Chen's attitude towards them had changed drastically. Although they felt uncomfortable in their hearts, there was nothing they could do. The strong were respected. This was the reality. Reality was cruel. Even a starry sky world emperor couldn't change this reality. The difference between a starry sky world emperor and a titled world emperor was too great. The two of them couldn't leave even if they wanted to because they knew that as Chen Chen's cultivation had broken through, if they disobeyed him, even if they were friends, Chen Chen would definitely kill them. Dongfang Hao and Che Yimin had already thought about it. After dealing with Longao's matter, they would immediately find a reason to leave. Otherwise, they would end up dead on the streets sooner or later. The two starry sky world emperors' strength and speed were needless to say. In the blink of an eye, the two of them were already in front of Longao. Was Longao scared out of his wits? If it was in the past, Longao would definitely fight back with all his might. But now? Chen Ting, who was full of confidence earlier, was still fearful. He asked worriedly, Father, Longao isn't simple. I'm afraid that he has a backup plan. Should we? Chen Chen waved his hand and interrupted Chen Ting's words. He sneered and said, this time, Longao will definitely die. In the beginning, when Chen Chen was approached by Yi Dugu, he didn't really believe in Yi Dugu's method. He just wanted to give it a try. However, he didn't expect that not only did Longao take the risk to come here, he also used Yi Dugu's method to trap Longao, making it impossible for him to enter the starry sky divine tool. When Dongfang Hao and Che Yimin were only a few meters away from Longao, Longao suddenly stretched out his right hand and clasped it together. A shocking scene occurred. With the previous lesson, the two of them naturally knew how terrifying their opponent was. This move of his had killed two titled world kings instantly. It would be a lie to say that they weren't afraid. He sneered. Longao's face was filled with mockery. He said contemptuously, "A bunch of trash." Dongfang Hao and Che Yima's faces were gloomy and ugly, because both of them were dignified Starry Sky Realm emperors. Unless a titled world emperor came, no one could be their opponent. But now, they were intimidated by a little Starry Sky Realm lord. It was really a bit shameful. The Primal Chaos Axe appeared in Longao's right hand. Looking at the Primal Chaos Axe in Longao's hand, the four of them were filled with greed. Because they had seen how terrifying the power of the Primal Chaos Axe in Longao's hand was. It would be a lie to say that they didn't want it for themselves. Dongfang Hao and Che Yiman glanced at each other and shot towards Longao again. This time, Longao didn't control the Starry Sky. Instead, he used the Primal Chaos Axe and fused it with the Primal Chaos Axe. The Primal Chaos Axe slashed out. A terrifying power instantly enveloped the two of them. Cracks in the Starry Sky began to appear around them. Fortunately, the two of them were Starry Sky World Emperors. If they were Starry Sky World Masters or Starry Sky World Kings, this axe alone would be enough to kill them. Because the cracks in the Starry Sky created by Longao were forcefully compressed by him. Chapter 2195. Once again, the two of them were forced to retreat. Their faces turned gloomy. Trash. Although Chun Chun didn't say it clearly, Dongfang Hao and Che Yiman could tell that Chun Chun was talking about them. If it was in the past, would Chun Chun dare to do this? The two of them never thought that Chun Chun would do this. One had to know that before Chun Chun broke through to the titled World Emperor realm, they came to help the heaven-devouring empire without hesitation. Now that Chun Chun's cultivation had broken through to the titled World Emperor realm, he immediately turned his back on them. Since they were weaker, they could only swallow their anger. Chunting, who was at the side, was shocked because this wasn't like his father. Others might not know about the relationship between his father and Dongfang Hao, but how could he not know? Taking a step back, even if the relationship between his father and the two of them wasn't good, they were still Starry Sky World Emperors. His father couldn't do this. Wasn't this forcing them to leave? What was wrong with his father? Not to mention Chunting, even Dongfang Hao and Che Yiman were curious. The two of them felt embarrassed. They were forced to retreat to deal with a small Starry Sky World Emperor. If this matter were to spread, where would their face go? The two of them charged towards Longao again. This time, they had to kill Longao. Time sure kill technique. Since he couldn't enter the Dragon Seal space, Longao was prepared to fight against the Starry Sky World Emperor. He wanted to see how long he could last with his strength. Time sure kill techniques had two sure kill techniques: time imprisonment and time crush. Longao didn't know if his sure kill technique could kill the Starry Sky World Emperor. Hence, he hadn't used it yet. Under such circumstances, he could only give it a try. Just as the two of them were about to attack, they suddenly felt the time around them freezing. The two of them looked at each other and saw the shock in each other's eyes. How did Longao do it? As Starry Sky World Emperors, the two of them naturally knew what sure kill technique Longao was using now. Time. As the strongest force in the vast universe, one could imagine the power of the sure kill technique. Fortunately, their cultivation was far above Longao's. If they were only titled world kings, it was hard to imagine how they could resist Longao. Time shattered. In fact, there was not much difference between time shattering and grasping the Starry Sky. The difference in cultivation level between Longao and the two of them was too great. Even if he had a time sure kill skill or Starry Sky mastery, he couldn't make up for the difference in cultivation level. Longao, you're dead this time? Really? Looking at the indifferent Longao, for some reason, Dongfang Hao and Che Yimen's hearts skipped a beat. Could it be that Longao still had some tricks up his sleeve? After what happened just now, the two of them were very wary of Longao. Longao would definitely die in this battle. Currently, Longao had already been locked onto and was completely unable to leave. If he was still unable to kill the other party under such circumstances, how would he explain it to Chen Chen? Here's a Primal Chaos tablet for you. Primal Chaos stone tablets? If it were anything else, the two of them would definitely not be affected at all. However, the legend of the Primal Chaos stone tablet was there. Even if the two of them were Starry Sky World Emperors, when they heard the words Primal Chaos Stone Tablet, they could not help but be stunned for a moment. While the two of them were still in a daze, Longao immediately turned and left. Father! Just as Chen Ting was about to chase after him, he suddenly realized that there was something wrong with his father who was standing beside him. He was like a block of wood, standing there motionlessly. Uncle Dongfang, quickly come and take a look. The two of them who were about to chase after him heard Chen Ting's call and immediately turned around. When they saw Chen Chen's appearance, the two of them were shocked. What's going on? Chen Ting also shook his head and said, Father is a little off today. Just now, he scolded you too. It's not like how he usually is. Uncle Dongfang, others may not know, but don't you know about the friendship between you and Father? Dongfang Hao nodded. In his heart, he was also muttering. He and Chen Chen had been friends for so many years. Even if Chen Chen's cultivation had broken through to the titled World Emperor realm, he had always been good to him. Why would he suddenly change? It seemed that something was wrong. The three of them did not care about Longao. Chen Chen was the most important. Don't touch Brother Chen first. Now Chen Chen's eyes were tightly shut. He looked extremely haggard. His face was pale and his body was even trembling slightly. It was as if he was terminally ill. It was truly inconceivable for a perfectly fine person to suddenly become like this. Moreover, Chen Chen was a bona fide titled World Emperor. How could this happen? It seems that Brother Chen is in trouble. He was able to lock onto Longao's position for no reason and seal the surrounding space, causing Longao to be unable to enter. It seems that there's someone behind Brother Chen. If we can't find this person, Brother Chen will be in big trouble. Che Yimen and Chen Ting nodded in agreement. Chen Ting said helplessly, Uncle Dongfang, this matter is very troublesome. Until now, we still don't know who is related to Father. The three of them were not fools. They knew very well that the person who could work together with Father was at least a Starry Sky World Emperor or even a titled World Emperor. If they thought about Father's situation, the other party's strength was self-evident. Such a terrifying existence was unimaginable. Even they might not be able to deal with it. Who could it be? The three of them looked very solemn. They didn't dare to touch Chen Chen, as they didn't know whether Chen Chen's current situation was good or bad. Just like that, the three of them guarded Chen Chen tightly. The surroundings were sealed. No one was allowed to enter. Those who disobeyed would be killed without mercy. The news of Longao barging into the heaven-devouring empire, fighting against 4 titled world emperors and escaping unscathed spread through the entire heaven-devouring empire. Everyone who heard the news was shocked. Longao was only a Starry Sky World Emperor. How did he do it? The two of them weren't even on the same level. It shocked the entire heaven-devouring empire, and even the entire heaven-devouring realm. They had seen arrogant people before, but they had never seen someone so reckless. How did Longao manage to barge into the heaven-devouring empire alone? While everyone was shocked, they also started to admire Longao. If it was someone else, the heaven-devouring empire would be thankful if they didn't take the initiative to look for trouble. No matter what, The heaven-devouring empire's strength wasn't something to be trifled with. Longao didn't leave the heaven-devouring empire. Even now, he was still afraid. If it wasn't for the Primal Chaos Axe and the 9-revolution Primal Chaos formula, it wouldn't have been easy for him to escape. He was also curious about what happened to Chen Chen. Chapter 2196. Everyone was talking about it. Longao was also guessing who the mysterious person behind Chen Chen was. Chen Chen suddenly opened his eyes. With a face full of surprise, he asked, "What happened just now?" "Don't know?" Chen Chen's reaction made Chen Ting even more curious. He was sure that Chen Chen had been controlled by someone. It was really a vacuum. Chen Chen was a genuine titled world emperor. It was hard to imagine who could control a titled world emperor. "Speak, what exactly happened?" Chen Chen was very sure that something must have happened just now when he saw the expressions on their faces. "Father, don't tell me you don't know what happened just now." The three of them were completely shocked when they saw their father shake his head. The three people never thought that Chen Chen actually even forgot about the matter of Longao coming. No wonder Chen Chen could locate Longao's location. There was no hesitation at all. Chen Ting recounted everything that had happened in detail. After listening, Chen Chen's expression darkened. It was as ugly as it could get. Of course, he knew the seriousness of the matter. "Brother Shen, what exactly happened?" Dongfang Hao and the other two's intuition told them that things were not so simple. Who could control a titled world emperor? Chen Chen sighed deeply. Chen Chen thought for a moment and finally said, "A few days ago, 2 mysterious people came to the empire. They told me that Longao would definitely come secretly in the near future and take drastic measures. Also, this person told me how to lock onto Longao's position. As for what happened after that, I don't know." If this was true, then wouldn't he have been controlled by someone? Chen Chen felt a lingering fear. If this person wanted to deal with him, wouldn't he be dead for sure? All along, Chen Chen had thought that no one would be able to kill him after he broke through to the titled world emperor level. He never expected to encounter such a situation. "Brother Chen, who is the other party?" "I don't know." "How strong is he?" "I don't know." Not knowing anything was the scariest thing. Chen Chen didn't know why he chose to believe the other party. It was as if he had lost his soul. If he hadn't suddenly woken up, even if he could kill Longao, what could he do? "Brother Shen, it seems like this person is Longao's enemy. Given this person's mysterious strength, it shouldn't be difficult for him to kill us." Chen Chen nodded in agreement. The other party was simply too mysterious and powerful. He felt helpless. "The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Since this person can lock onto Longao's position, as long as we use him wisely, we might be able to use him to kill Longao." The three of them looked worried. "Father, we're asking a tiger for its skin. Even if we can kill Longao, I'm afraid we'll be in big trouble." Chen Chen's expression was solemn. "Let's put this matter aside for now. Longao has entered the empire this time. If there are no accidents, he shouldn't have left. Be careful and find Longao for me." "All right." Longao didn't leave. Instead, he blended in with the crowd. Since he was already here, he had to create some trouble for the heaven-devouring empire. This way, his elder brother would be strong enough to fight against the heaven-devouring empire. Long Ying had said that the empire would be able to fight against the heaven-devouring empire in at most 100 years. As for having experts to hold the fort, it was impossible for Long Ying to do so. Longao had already thought about it. After he was able to hold back the heaven-devouring empire, he had to find more experts to hold the fort. With enough experts and a strong foundation, they would be able to fight against the heaven-devouring empire. The heaven-devouring empire immediately sealed the area. Everyone knew that Longao hadn't left the empire. It was hard to imagine what Longao was thinking. After all, it was one thing to offend the heaven-devouring empire, but why didn't he leave before the seal was sealed? What was Longao trying to do? Longao's actions had left everyone dumbfounded. No one was willing to believe that Longao would be so arrogant as to provoke the heaven-devouring empire. He was simply courting death. Everyone was in danger. Longao didn't even put the 4 experts in his eyes. How could he deal with the rest of the heaven-devouring empire? Just as expected. As the heaven-devouring empire sealed off the empire, more people began to die. In less than a day and a night, hundreds of people had died. Moreover, they were all powerful cultivators in the universe. The weakest among them was a level 9 cultivator. What kind of concept was this? When Chun Chun and the others received the news, they were all shocked. Longao really hadn't left the empire, and had even killed people from the heaven-devouring empire. This was a great humiliation to the heaven-devouring empire. A puny starry sky realm lord dared to provoke the heaven-devouring empire time and time again. However, Chun Chun and the others were also depressed. The headquarters of the devouring heaven empire was too big. It was impossible to find Longao. Moreover, Longao had a starry sky divine artifact. He could hide in the starry sky divine artifact at any time. If that was the case, it would be harder to locate Longao. As more than 100 people died, the situation in the heaven-devouring empire changed. It was as though they were trapped in a cage and could be killed at any time. Everyone in the heaven-devouring empire was in a state of panic. They didn't know what to do. Because of the heaven-devouring empire's seal, no one could leave the heaven-devouring empire's base. What should we do now? Longao is like a madman. He is killing people everywhere he goes. I heard that although Longao's cultivation is only at the starry sky realm lord, he can kill a titled world king in an instant. Even Elder Shinjua and Elder Shin, he couldn't escape from Longao's attack. You can imagine how strong Longao is. It's unbelievable. I heard about it too. That's why none of us can escape from Longao's sneak attack. I really don't know what to do. I thought that with the heaven-devouring empire's protection, we would be able to live a good life in the future. But now, before we can enjoy ourselves, we have to face such a situation. It's disgusting. Is it disgusting? Of course. Just as he finished speaking, the 5 or 6 people looked at the 4 people who had suddenly descended. They were all dumbstruck and immediately knelt down, saying in panic, "Your Majesty, please spare our lives. Your Majesty, please spare our lives. We were just talking nonsense." Looking at the 4 people in front of them, they were completely terrified. They knew what the consequences would be if their Majesty heard their words. They might even lose their lives. Chapter 2197. Chen Ting's face darkened. In fact, he didn't even bother to say a single word of nonsense before he directly killed the 5 of them. "Father, we can't go on like this. As long as Longao is still alive, everyone will be worried." They were in big trouble this time. Longao was like a ghost, floating around everywhere. Given Longao's strength, if he could kill 2 titled world kings, it would be a piece of cake for him to deal with ordinary cultivators. Chen Chen nodded. "Don't tell me you have no way of locating Longao?" Dongfang Hao and Che Yimin looked at each other. They could see the helplessness in each other's eyes. This was a humiliation to the 3 of them. They had never been humiliated like this before. This could be considered an unprecedented event. "Brother Shin, there is only one way to lock onto Longao's position. Maybe the person from before used that method." "The power of laws?" "Yes, it is the power of laws of the astral world." Chen Ting was shocked when he heard what his father and Dongfang Hao said. He knew very well what the power of laws of the astral world meant. If the other party is really such an existence, I'm afraid our heaven-devouring empire, Chun Chun didn't dare to imagine. Even he didn't dare to imagine how powerful the expert who had controlled him was. Even if everyone in the heaven-devouring empire worked together, they wouldn't be a match for the other party, let alone one-on-one. Let's stop here. He didn't want to talk about it because he didn't know if his guess was right. At this moment, the entire heaven-devouring empire trembled, and the four of them paled. They could clearly sense what this aura meant. The power of laws of the astral world. The four of them were scared silly. No one had expected the power of laws of the astral world to suddenly descend. Brother Chen, long time no see. How have you been? In the majestic hall, the two old men suddenly descended. Seeing the two of them, Chun Chen was very shocked. However, he still smiled and said, Brother Linghu, Brother Heishan, we haven't seen each other for many years. I didn't expect that your strength would improve again. Improved again? The two of them sighed deeply. We have never been able to take that step. Standing behind Chun Ting's expression changed again and again. With the help of his spiritual sense, he said, Uncle Dongfang, are these two seniors the legendary Starry Sky Universe Masters? A Starry Sky Universe Master was a legendary existence. Even the heaven-devouring empire didn't have such an expert. Starry Sky Universe Masters could comprehend the power of astral rules with the help of astral domain. Rule force, one could imagine how powerful it was. Yes, these two are the two Starry Sky Universe Masters from the First Empire. One of them is Linghu Yao Starry Sky Universe Master, and the other is Black Mountain Old Devil. He was startled. Of course, Shun Ting knew what the number one empire that Dongfang Hao spoke of meant. He finally knew why two Starry Sky Universe Masters had suddenly appeared. If it was not the First Empire, who else could send out two Starry Sky Universe Masters at once? A Starry Sky World Master could easily destroy the entire heaven-devouring empire if he wanted to. As for the first Starry Sky Empire, it was the most powerful Starry Sky Empire among the countless Starry Sky Empires. The entire empire was extremely powerful, and no one dared to provoke it. Compared to the First Empire, the heaven-devouring empire paled in comparison. Shinting couldn't figure out why two Starry Sky Universe Masters would suddenly appear in the empire. Did something happen? With your talent and cultivation speed, I believe that you will be able to break through the bottleneck and reach the legendary realm in less than 100 years. Both of them smiled. As for whether they would be able to break through the bottleneck and reach the legendary realm in less than 100 years, they didn't know. Gentlemen, why did you suddenly appear in the empire? Linghu Yao smiled and said, We already know about the matter between the heaven-devouring empire and Longao. Speaking of this matter, the four of them were extremely depressed and angry. Even the First Empire knew about it. This was a great loss of face. Chun smiled helplessly and said, Gentlemen, if you have something to say, just say it. Even now, Chun didn't know why the two of them suddenly appeared in the empire. It couldn't be to help him deal with Longao. The First Empire wouldn't be so kind. In the vast universe, there were countless Starry Sky Empires. The reason why the First Empire was able to reach such a height was not only because of its own strength, but also because it had many subsidiary empires. However, the heaven-devouring empire was an exception. All along, Chun had been unwilling to submit to the First Empire. Although submitting to the First Empire would allow him to develop better, there would be more restrictions. Because of this, the First Empire had sent many envoys to the heaven-devouring empire, but Chun didn't agree. As for Chun Ting, he also didn't agree to the First Empire's invitation. What were the two of them up to? Of course, the two of them could guess what Chun was thinking. At this moment, the Black Mountain Old Demon said, Brother Chun, we are here to pass you a message. His Majesty has already given you an ultimatum. If the heaven-devouring empire is unwilling to submit, you will have to bear the consequences. The First Empire had already lost their patience. Due to the threats from the Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, and Ninth Empires, the First Empire had no choice but to make a decision. The heaven-devouring empire's strength couldn't be underestimated. If they couldn't subdue the heaven-devouring empire, they definitely couldn't let the other 8 starry sky empires have it. In the vast starry sky, there were countless starry sky empires. Among the countless starry sky empires, there were a total of 9 starry sky empires. The First Empire was definitely the strongest, followed by the Second, Third, Fourth, Fifth, Sixth, Seventh, Eighth, and Ninth Empires. However, the other 8 starry sky empires had always wanted to replace the First Empire. That was exactly the case. The 9 starry sky empires were all recruiting and looking for their own subordinate empires. Gradually, the entire vast starry sky was divided into 9 huge plates that were ruled by the 9 starry sky empires. Chen Chen sighed deeply in his heart. He wasn't a fool, and he knew that if he continued to refuse, the First Empire wouldn't let him off easily. Previously, it had only been insignificant people who had come. This time, 2 Universe Masters had come directly. The First Empire's intention was clear. What should he do? Should he accept or reject? Chen Chen didn't utter a word, and Chen Ting didn't dare to speak recklessly. After all, the consequences would be unimaginable if he made the wrong choice. Chapter 2198. Ling Hu Yao and the Black Mountain Old Demon did not rush him. Both of them seemed to have a card up their sleeves. After some thought, they understood why. Not to mention the strength of the First Empire, just the fact that the 2 of them had come personally was enough for Chen Chen to not give them face. This time, the 2 of them had already received orders to kill Chen Chen as long as he did not submit to them. Even one of them could easily destroy the entire heaven-devouring empire, let alone 2 starry sky universe masters. This was the strength of a universe master. Chen Chen and the rest knew the severity of the situation. Did they really have to submit? Everyone knew very well what it meant once they chose to submit. After submitting, the heaven-devouring empire would become a subordinate country. By then, anyone from the First Empire would be able to trample on the heaven-devouring empire. This had happened before. Apart from that, once the First Empire and the other 8 universe empires went to war, the 9 great empires would be the last to attack. To put it nicely, they would be the vanguard. To put it bluntly, they would be cannon fodder. This was the real reason why Chen Chen and Chen Ting were unwilling to submit. The 2 of them had not expected the First Empire to send 2 universe masters. It seemed that the First Empire was determined to win. Agree? Or reject? If they agreed, they would be fine. But if they chose to reject, the consequences would be unimaginable. The entire heaven-devouring empire would be destroyed by the 2 of them. No matter what, the 2 universe masters were too powerful. Do the 2 of you still have a chance? Chen Chen must be out of his mind to ask such a question. However, the crowd was impressed by Chen Chen. Not everyone would dare to ask such a question in such a situation. Ling Hu Yao and the Black Mountain Old Demon smiled. The Black Mountain Old Demon shook his head and said firmly, "Brother Shun, we have a good relationship, so I'll tell you the truth. His Majesty has already given us an order to destroy the heaven-devouring empire if you refuse. If we can't complete the mission, we will be in big trouble." Universe Masters were the strongest in the heaven-devouring empire. No one dared to offend them. But in the First Empire, although the 2 Universe Masters held high positions in the First Empire, they could not do whatever they wanted. Hearing these words, Chen Chen's group of 4 was helpless to the extreme. Their worst fears came true. In the end, Chen Ting sighed deeply and said helplessly, "The 2 of you, please go back and tell His Majesty that the heaven-devouring empire is willing to submit." If he has any orders in the future, we will do anything for him. The other three shrugged helplessly. Under such circumstances, this was the only choice. With the deterrence of the two Starry Sky World Masters, Chen Chen did not dare to refuse. As for the other two, both the Black Mountain Old Demon and Ling Hu Yao smiled. They seemed to have guessed that Chen Chen would definitely agree. A wise man submits to circumstances. Brother Shen, you won't regret your decision today. Since he had already agreed, Chen Chen would not continue to dwell on this issue. The two of you, I would like to ask for your help. Chen Chen looked around and said, to be honest, everyone knows about the grudge between us and Longao. Longao is currently in the heaven-devouring empire. On the way here, the two of them had heard too many legends about this person. He was only a level 8 Starry Sky cultivator, but he dared to fight against the heaven-devouring empire alone. In just a few years, not only did he not die, but he had also broken through to become a Starry Sky World Master. They had to admit that Longao was a miracle, a legend. The two of them had never expected that Longao would be so arrogant as to dare to kill his way into the headquarters of the heaven-devouring empire. If he was a titled world emperor, it would be fine. But in the end, everyone knew that Longao was only a Starry Sky World Master. Wasn't it suicide for him to barge into the heaven-devouring empire alone? Brother Shin, do you mean that you have captured Longao? Just as the two of them were about to congratulate him, Chen Chen said helplessly, I'm not afraid that you will laugh at me for telling you this. Until now, we have not been able to determine his location. Chen Chen did not hide anything and recounted everything that had happened in detail. After listening to the story, the two of them sighed. Not to mention Longao's strength. The fact that he had a Starry Sky divine weapon was not to be underestimated. The two of them were not fools and they knew what Chen Chen meant. This was a piece of cake for the two of them. If they did not agree to it, it would be unkind of them. Brother Shen, let's begin immediately. Thank you. Whether it was Chen Chen, Chen Ting, Che Yiman or Dongfang Hao, when they heard the two Starry Sky Universe Masters agree without hesitation, the four of them were extremely surprised. They knew very well that what they could not do did not mean that the two Starry Sky Universe Masters could not do it. One should know that a Starry Sky World Master already possessed the power of the Starry Sky Law. Longao had nowhere to hide. As long as they could determine Longao's exact location, killing Longao would be a piece of cake. Longao had brought too much humiliation to the Empire. If they did not kill him, the Empire would lose face. However, the two of them had already decided that after the two of them locked onto Longao's position, they would at least first obtain the secret on Longao's body. As for Longao's life and death, the two of them would not care at all. The Black Mountain Old Demon and Ling Hu Yao did not hesitate. They immediately released their auras and shrouded the entire base camp of the heaven-devouring empire. The power of the Starry Sky Law gushed out crazily and searched inch by inch. The two of them were very confident. If they could not even find a small Starry Sky World Master, they would be dead. Brother Shin, follow me. Chen Chen was delighted to hear their words. He knew that the two of them had located Longao's location. It seemed that their strength was really terrifying. They were indeed Starry Sky World Masters. Their superpower alone was not something he could achieve. It would be a lie to say that they were not envious. However, Chen Chen and the other three did not dare to show it. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable if they offended the two Starry Sky World Masters. Chen Chen and the other three did not dare to hesitate. Longao was a variable and no one knew what tricks he would play. Now that the two Starry Sky World Masters had located Longao's location, they had to take advantage of this opportunity to kill Longao. They had to remove the source of the trouble and eliminate all future troubles for themselves and the Empire. Chapter 2199. Heaven-Devouring Empire. At a certain location, Longao had just killed 3 rank 9 Starry Sky cultivators and immediately went into hiding. With this kind of sneak attack, as long as it wasn't a titled World King or a Starry Sky World Emperor, no one was his match. Longao had already decided to continue his assassination. As long as he didn't leave the Heaven-Devouring Empire, his big brother would have enough time to develop the Empire's strength. As long as he could drag it on for a dozen years, the situation would be completely different. As for his own cultivation, Longao was helpless. Now that he had successfully broken through to become a Starry Sky World Lord, who knew how long it would take for him to become a Starry Sky World King? Unless he encountered a fortuitous encounter, it would be extremely difficult for him to become a Starry Sky World King. Right at this moment, 2 terrifying forces swept across his body. These 2 forces were extremely terrifying. "I've been locked on?" Sensing the 2 forces locking onto him, Longao was startled. Of course, he knew that these 2 were definitely enemies. Who were they? The strength of the true bodies of these 2 forces far surpassed Qin Chen's group of 3. Could they be experts that Qin Chen had invited? Just as Longao was about to enter the Dragon Seal space, he was suppressed by the 2 forces, causing him to be a step too late and unable to enter the Dragon Seal space. He was in big trouble. 6 figures descended at the same time. Longao stared at the 2 people beside Qin Chen at first glance because he could clearly sense that their strength was far above Qin Chen's. Could it be that the Starry Sky ruler wasn't above the titled World Emperor? Looking at the expression on Longao's face, the 6 of them didn't seem to believe it. Because they didn't believe that with Longao's miraculous strength, he actually didn't know that there was an existence above the Starry Sky Realm Emperor. "You're Longao?" "Yes, how should I address the 2 of you? If you respect me, I'll respect you tenfold." "Linghu Yao, this is the Black Mountain Old Devil. We're from the First Empire." "First Empire?" Hearing Linghu Yao's words, Longao was extremely shocked. He didn't expect the 2 of them to be from the First Empire. After stepping into the vast starry sky, Luo Yunyang had a rough understanding of the situation there. In the vast starry sky, there were countless starry sky empires. Among the many starry sky empires, the 9 starry sky empires were the most powerful. The 9 starry sky empires were divided into the First Empire, Second Empire, Third Empire, Fourth Empire, Fifth Empire, Sixth Empire, Seventh Empire, Eighth Empire, and Ninth Empire. Among the 9 great starry sky empires, the First Empire was undoubtedly the strongest. Could they be titled world emperors as well? The fox demon seemed to be able to guess what Longao was thinking. She smiled and said, "Longao, if you surrender, we can guarantee your survival. What do you think? Immortal?" Hearing Linghu Yao's words, Qin Chen's group of 4 was shocked. He felt extremely displeased in his heart and was even furious to the extreme. If it was someone else who had said those words, Qin Chen and the other 3 would have already taken action. As for the 2 of them, the other 4 could only stand aside obediently. With the strength of the 2 Starry Sky Universe Masters, the First Empire would not blame them even if they destroyed the Heaven-Devouring Empire if they offended them. Between the Heaven-Devouring Empire and the 2 Starry Sky Universe Masters, there was no doubt that the First Empire would choose the 2 Starry Sky Universe Masters over the Heaven-Devouring Empire. Just like that. Even if the 4 of them were extremely displeased and unwilling, they could only endure it. Longao smiled. "I believe both of you are aware of the grudge between me and the Heaven-Devouring Empire. In that case, both of you should know what kind of person I am. Since I dared to go against the Heaven-Devouring Empire, do you think that I would be afraid of you?" The 2 of them were stunned because they had never thought that Longao would dare to say such a thing. It was as if he did not care about them at all. Even if the other party did not know that they were Starry Sky Universe Masters, their auras were far superior to Chen-Chen's. This could only mean that their strength was far superior to Chen-Chen's. Could Longao really be so arrogant? The two of them were a little wary of Longao's fearlessness. Longao, do you know what you just said? With an impatient face, Longao said with disgust, the two of you, there is no grudge between the First Empire and me. If I don't provoke you, you shouldn't provoke me either. We will mind our own business. If you provoke me, so what? The two of them did not care. If the person who threatened them was a Starry Sky Universe Master or a titled Universe Master, they might be a little wary. However, the person who threatened them was just a small Starry Sky Universe Master. Such an existence was just like an ant in their eyes. Bear the consequences yourself. The two of them laughed crazily when they heard Longao's words. They had seen arrogant people before, but they had never seen someone as arrogant as him. He did not know the immensity of heaven and earth. Goodbye. You want to leave just like that? Seeing that Longao was about to turn around and leave, the two of them looked at each other. Was the other party a little stupid? Could it be that he was really so fearless? The two of them didn't know what gave this person such great courage. He was really arrogant. At this moment, Chen-Chen, who had been silent all this while, suddenly said, "Both of you, this person is arrogant and difficult to deal with. If you let him go today, not only the heaven-devouring empire, but also the two of you will be in trouble. Is that so?" Neither He Shan Heimo nor Ling Hu Yao took Chen-Chen's words to heart. If the two of them couldn't even deal with a mere Starry Sky Realm Lord, where would their reputation go if news of this spread to the First Empire? Sneering, just as the two of them were about to continue talking nonsense, Longao's figure suddenly disappeared. Perhaps it was because they were too arrogant, the two of them did not disturb the fluctuation of space. Otherwise, Longao might not have been able to enter the Dragon Seal space so smoothly. The two of them were dumbfounded. They finally believed Chen-Chen's words. The Starry Sky Divine Weapon in Longao's hands was really powerful. It could actually disappear right under their noses. If they could obtain such a Starry Sky Divine Weapon, wouldn't they be like tigers that had grown wings? Both of you, what should we do now? The four of them despised the two of them. If they were not afraid of their strength, they would have laughed out loud. At first, the two of them were full of confidence, thinking that they could deal with Longao in the shortest time possible. But what was the result? Didn't Longao still disappear under the eyes of the two people? It was simply disgraceful to the point of losing face. You're tuning in to the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.